Hello everybody, I'm Honk, but you can just call me Caleb, and this is my rank of pretty much every single Punch-Out fight, which amounts to 69 fights. As you can see here, we're getting started with Gabby J at number 69 in our first tier, bottom tier, called Automatic. And in terms of Super Punch-Out, this is of course the easiest of 16 fights. The reason for that, you really don't need to know much. You just punch and you'll do just fine. Yeah, so just all you really need to do is know how to punch, and that's pretty much it. Just punch where he's not blocking. He usually will block it. He may hit you a couple times, but the engine, in my opinion, Super Punch Out is incredibly easy. As you can see there, he's already down. Coming in at number 68, we have Glass Joe, and he's the easiest fight of the 6 fights in the first arcade game, and he's the easiest fight of the 11 fights in the total arcade series, and of all the Glass Joe's fights, he's the easiest of the 4 fights in there. So now that we're on the arcades, this is a perfect time to talk about the exceptions, because there's not much going on here. It's kind of the same as Gabby J, except the engine's a little harder, but you just punch him a bunch and he'll be down. So there are a couple exceptions, and that's really the fact that since it's an arcade game, it goes on forever, and there's harder fights, and they change outfits, but I decided just to include the originals. Now here we are with Von Kaiser at number 13 for contender fights, number 28 for total Punch-Out Wii fights, and number 3 of all Von Kaiser fights. As you can see here, this may be a bit of a hot take, putting Von Kaiser over Glass Joe for Wii, but I think what gets it for me, his defense is a little tighter than Joe, a little less stun than Joe, maybe a little stronger than Joe, but really to me it comes down to stars. He gets there's a lot more ways to get stars with him. When you punish him with stars, it's devastating damage to him, which you'll see in the footage. He'll dodge your things, but you can just get free stars off that. So star punch and stunning instantly down. And that's really what sells it for me, mainly. Throws a jab, but easy to see there. Very easy to counter. And now you can see here, as you can see there, if you're not good enough, you can't just throw punches, and they probably will hit him. But yeah, really not a bad fight at all. But we'll go into it just to show how it can get even easier. As his KO trick, incredibly easy. This is just a fancy way of doing it, but really all you have to do is get 3 stars no matter how you do it. Watch him star punch this taunt, and he's out of there. Now we're going to the NES games for number 66, and we've got Glass Joe of all the 14 fights in that game, and the 3rd easiest fight of all Glass Joe fights. Now, this might be a hot take as well, putting NES Glass Joe so high, because for the first 40 seconds of the match, as you're going to see here, he's just a punching bag. He doesn't even do a damn thing. And honestly, I'm not really too sure about these early rankings, but I hope nobody's losing sleep over what I think over these fights, because they're the easiest fights and there's not really much to talk about in them. If you punch him correctly there, you automatically knock him out if you get the timing right during that taunt. Otherwise, you're just kind of being here, and you are going to have to dodge attacks. You do have a lot of hearts, but if you run out, you're going to have to start dodging attacks. It's not too big of a deal. He barely throws. Definitely get some stars just like that. Oh god, that jab is slow. Don't quick dodge if you're too accustomed to the NES mechanics. You don't want to quick dodge on Glass Joe or Don Flamenco, which we'll get to soon. Same 2 attacks. He's got a hook, a jab, very slow, plenty of time to react, and he's down. For number 65, we're going to go to his Punch-Out Wii variation in Contender. The 12th easiest fight in Contender, and the 27th easiest fight in the entire Wii series, and the second easiest fight, or in the second hardest, whatever you say, at number 2 of the 4 fights of Glass Joe. Same thing in the first 40 seconds. You get a taunt off him, does nothing for 40 seconds. He's punchy bag, instant knockdown if you punch the taunt. The engine in NES is a little bit harder than the Wii's, but what gets it really to me, it's just this KO trick, honestly. It's a little complex for the very first character. As you can see, we're just kind of wailing on him. Lots of stun from him. Just an uppercut and a jab. An incredibly slow jab. It's even slower than the uppercut, and it does less damage, so it's like, why even throw it? Doesn't have the stun like Von Kaiser. The stun thing where if you punch him, if you start punching him and stun, he gets knocked down. But that doesn't mean he doesn't take hits well, because no, he doesn't. It's Glass Joe. Triple star in the third knockdown, takes him out very easily. He's out of here. We are gonna go back though and just show off that KO trick because I think it's important. It's very complex. I wouldn't expect the average beginner to expect how to do it. But yeah, it's pretty much this. A lot more complex than Von Kaiser, but yeah. And now, speaking of Von Kaiser, we have his NES variation. Coming in at number 13 of the 14 NES fights, and number 2 of the 3 Von Kaiser fights. So, its defenses are tight here. Tighter than Joe in the NES. And, yeah, it's got the same things. He's got a little dodge. He has, he gets instant knockdown from a star. I think it's a little harder to get stars in this one. That's why I put it on the top of the automatic tier. Because he's here. I'm also just not too accustomed to the NES Punch Out. My strong suit is especially Wii, but I try to give in this list. I try to give try to be impartial, very, very impartial. I try to think about like what the average player might deal with. Instant knockdown. And he starts throwing uppercuts. And gave me a really long stun for some reason. And just like that, he's out. We're staying in the NES, but we're traveling a little bit forward to King Hippo for 63. It's the 12th easiest fight of 14, and it's the easiest fight of 3 King Hippo fights. Now, he's got 2 attacks. He's got his jab, and if you hit him while it blocks, he'll throw the jab immediately. He's got this overhead where he opens his mouth, and that's the whole concept of King Hippo, is that you can only hit him when he opens his mouth, and that might be a little hard to realize as a player. This is the first character in the tier I like to call embarrassing, where it's like they're not necessarily automatic, because I mean King Hippo has that thing where you need to hit him while he opens his mouth, and then give him a jab and then a hook repeatedly, body blows repeatedly to while he keeps putting his pants up. But yeah, like early knockdown. That's pretty much it. We'll go back to Super Punch Out for 62, as we have Bear Hugger for 15 of 16 Super Punch Out fights, and number 4 of the 4 Bear Hugger fights. As you can see there, when you throw body blows, it doesn't work, except to when he points like that. You get a free hit there. You hit him on block, he throws a bear hug, so you can bait that, especially in these first couple seconds. He does not throw a punch until his corner tells him to. So you'll see that soon. And now he's going to start attacking. He's going to start throwing some punches. But he's very vulnerable to not tanking at all. Gets demolished by jabs and uppercuts. He's not laid a finger on me yet. See there, immediate counter, he's down, and I don't think he's getting up. Now we're going to the very next fight in Super Punch-Out for number 14 and number 61. We have Piston Hurricane, and this is the easiest of his 2 fights. Now, as you can see here, I'm doing a lot of punching too. Just a lot of free punching, and his attacks are too slow for them to come out. Got one there, but really, yeah, just a little bit of dodging, but really, you just do a lot of free punching, and there's not much you can do about it. There is this thing, which is the Piston Rush, or whatever, the Hurricane Rush, fuck, sorry. And it's very slow. You gotta block high, you gotta block low. In this game, you block low automatically by not holding anything, so that's nice. You just hold up a little bit, but he will keep punching you over and over again if you don't block it. So it's really just a block tutorial. You don't need to make things harder yourself. Just learn how to block. He's also weaker to guts. You saw that damage on the hook there. It's mean. Yeah, don't make things harder for yourself. Block the punches. Finishes with an uppercut. Simple as that. Barely got up. I don't show it here, but his coach will eventually tell him to show him his fancy footwork. He'll do a little dodging and bobbing and weaving. It's kind of fun, but so we'll dodge your punishes and stuff, but it's not much. Now we're going back to the NES for Dom Flamenco in the Major Circuit. Number 11 of 14 fights in that game, and the easiest of 4 Dom Flamenco fights. I would put this fight even lower, but I don't show it here, but whenever whenever you run out of hearts against Dom Flamenco, he likes to throw hooks over and over again. And I don't know, I just have a bit of a problem with maybe it's input delay, but I seem to always get hit by it, even though I think I'm timing it right or something like that. By the way, he's also down, so as you saw there, the way he works, he'll taunt at you, and then you gotta throw a punch, he'll block it, he'll throw an uppercut, and that's how this fight works. You either do it over and over again, or you hit him with a rhythm like I did earlier, and then you can knock him out just as like that. Left, right, that kind of rhythm. Believe it or not, he's already down. Here we go with Disco Kid, a brand new fighter in the Punch-Out series for number 59. Number 11 of 13 fights in Contender, and number 26 of the entire Wii series. Number 2 of his 2 fights, which of course would make sense because his other is title defense. But we'll get into that. Throw a star punch whenever he throws a taunt, instant knockdown. So yeah, he's got a hook, which means you can't dodge. A left hook where he goes to your right, and you gotta dodge to the right, you can't go to the left. So that's a little bit more. Defense still not perfect. You can still get some free punches if you really want to, but you're just better off. You're just better off dodging and punishing. That's pretty much the game of Punch-Out to this point. So in that respect, harder than Glass Joe and Vaughn, which isn't really saying much. But as you can see there, you can punch him in the gut after your combo in the right direction, and you can get even more stars, just like that, after anything. And that's pretty much it for Disco Kid. At number 58, this is the last time we're going to see Piston Hurricane in this video. It's an early exit for him. He's only appeared twice, and this is the harder of 2, which really isn't saying much. Number 5 of 6 arcade fights. Number 10 of total arcade fights. Of 11 total arcade fights. Really, the thing about this is same as Glass Joe, except he's got the Hurricane Rush. You can punch him a lot. Just punch, especially in the gut, repeatedly. Usually works. And there's his Hurricane Rush. The thing about it though, shit, he's already out. Damn. I think I actually have another clip though of me getting rocked by the rusher. Here we go. So the engine of the arcade's probably the most scuff-ass and maybe the hardest. So in this one you have to punch. You're in mode, so when you press up, not hold up, you're in jab mode, and when you press down, you're in body blow and block low mode, and you can see, so you have to keep pressing up and down. It can be a little tight, and he will keep punching over and over again. But other than that, once you get the hang of that, cakewalk, for sure. Alright, for 57, we got the champion of the minor circuit in the NES. At number 10 of 14 of those fights, and the easiest Piston Honda fight of 4. Here we go. So, not too many attacks, really. He's got a rush. I can't remember if he keeps going for his rush. I have a feeling he doesn't. I think he just throws 4 punches and an uppercut regardless, but I'm not sure. So yeah, you can get easy stars by gut punches after his little winky. His uppercuts are slow, very telegraphed, not tanky at all. Just lots of damage. There's a hook. Not sure if you can dodge to the right for that one. You probably will be able to, because usually NES Punch-Out doesn't matter where you dodge for the most part. I think there are some exceptions. I think Soda Puppetsky has a hook that you can't. I don't know. You see plenty of punches. He's like generating stars for me. I don't know. I personally think those are one of the stars in my little short time of playing this game that I could figure out. Not a hard fight at all. We didn't even get to see the rush. We'll see it in this rematch though. All right, now let's go to the other arcade game, Super Punch-Out, for the 5th easiest fight of 5 fights and the 9th easiest fight of 11 fights in the arcade series. The 3rd easiest fight of 4 bear hugger fights. He's got the same thing as Super, where you can't punch him in the gut. But that being said, sometimes he just doesn't block his face with that in mind, which is weird, because you can never, in this one, I'm pretty sure never punch him in the gut. He doesn't point to it in this one. You just gotta wait for him to throw his hook, and then you just gotta counter it. He will throw a jab there, jab counter. He's not really vulnerable when he throws a jab either. Just gotta be careful with that. And it's different from the arcade, the first arcade, as you have ducking there. Every single time he gets knocked down, he will retaliate with a bear hug immediately, but he doesn't recover with much HP, so you should be fine. Simple as that. At 55, we have Great Tiger, and I think this is the last, like, embarrassingly easy. It's the last in the embarrassing tier, but I think it's the last embarrassingly easy fight in the NES Punch-Out. I think all these 6 fights, these first 6 fights in the game, are complete jokes. It's the 9th easiest of the 14 fights in NES, and the easiest of all Great Tiger fights. Now you get more value off blocking his jab instead of countering it or punishing it, but you could get even more by countering it by jabbing when his turban blinks, and he throws like 5 or 6 of them, so you could get plenty of stars off of that. Literally a star generator. But once he gets past that, for the rest of the fight, he is just throwing uppercuts until eventually he gets to his super move. Uppercuts over and over again. And he just keeps getting eaten up. You got so many, you got plenty of hearts for this one too, so just like, it's very unlikely you get stunned or you get tired. I am actually going, in this clip, I am actually going to the 2nd round. A little unfortunate, but it's really not a big deal. Unlike in the Wii games, I don't think there's any knockdown amount of knockdowns that you get that will automatically knock them out aside from TKOs, because like in Contender Great Tiger, you can knock him down any 4 times in the round and he won't get up. But in this one, you either gotta have special KO tricks or you just gotta TKO him. You can see here he starts to teleport there, starting to signify something. This is his move. It will screw you up. He will do you over. He will do it over and over again until you block 4 to 5 times. But really, that's all you do. You just keep holding your block. Once he punches you, you just press the block button again. Don't make things hard for yourself. Just block 5 times, and then he'll get dizzy or stunned or whatever. And then you punch him. It's immediate knockdown. Now you can see I'm farming off those I'm farming off those punches. Does it again. Real unfortunate timing. I think those are mapped to timestamps, but I'm not entirely sure. Some of them probably are, but I'm not sure when that one came out. I wasn't paying attention. I think it was a little after 1:30. And he's down. For number 54, we're going to a brand new tier called the Easy tier. They're not as embarrassing as the previous fights or automatic, but they're definitely nothing to write home about. First, we got Bob Charlie for number 54 and number 13 of the 16 Punch-Out fights. This is the palette swap Glass Joe. He's got a little uppercut there too, and he likes to dodge a little bit of your attacks. You can still throw lots of free punches because it's Super Punch-Out. Look at that. He will do a lot more dodging than Gabby J, of course. There's this little special move. He'll like swing 3 times, and on the 3rd swing, his uppercut reaches you, so you gotta be careful of that. Sometimes he'll like shimmy to the left and the right during that. Here's his other thing. Shucking and jibber? Is that what it said? Oh, I don't think he's actually getting up. But yeah, just do a lot of little dodging, and he's gotta be aware of that. Yep, no, not getting up. Alright, here we go with Piston Hondo on the Wii. It's the 10th easiest. Goes at number 10 of 13 contender fights, number 25 of 28 Wii fights, and number 3 of 4 Piston Hondo fights. As you can see there, plenty of stars there. His jab is very fast, so might be a little hard to react to, but you'll get the hang of it, and you can get stars off that. His uppercut and hook are a little slow. Delayed hit there gives him a star. Hitting him while he bows is a star. Star punching him while he bows will automatically knock him down. There was his Hondo rush. Just block a couple times. He in this one he won't do it repeatedly. I'll just do 4 and then an uppercut. But in this one, they do like massive damage. I don't know why they made his jabs extra strong. So once again, don't make yourself hard for yourself. Just block or counter like that for an instant knockdown. Immediately back to Super Punch-Out for the champion of the minor circuit, Ball Bull at number 52. We're going to see Ball Bull a lot because he has 6, count them 6, fights more than anybody else. And this is of course the easiest and the 12th easiest of 16 Super Punch-Out fights. It's very, very slow. Very slow for Ball Bull. It's like a downgraded. It's kind of sad to see, honestly. We'll see lots of Ball Bull all over the list, all the way from mid to even the hardest fights. And you'll see what I mean as we get to there. For now, we'll talk about this minor circuit champion Ball Bull, which is not much to write about. It's got a little combinations, like he has a double uppercut. You might not even see them. Those little shimmies to signify. There's his bull charge. Don't want to get hit by that. You get instantly knocked down, but it's not too hard to counter. And if you counter it, he'll get knocked down. This one's a little hard because it's faster, and I've never actually dodged that one or countered it. You don't really want to dodge because he does it a lot. The bull charges. He may have a limit. I'm not sure. And I think that's it for Ball Bull. Yeah, slow attacks. Has a little bit of combinations. Just be aware of the bull charge, and you'll be fine. Now we'll go back to Super Punch-Out for 51 at Dragon Chan. Of his 2 fights in the series, this is the easiest, and the 11th easiest fight of Super Punch-Out. Now it's funny because in this clip I actually struggle a lot just trying to showcase stuff. I'm actually learning some stuff too. So the thing about Dragon Chan is you'll see this in the arcade a lot easier, but he's got like weird blocking methods, and it's like sometimes he only leaves one slot open, and when he punches he steps back to jab. Watch out for that kick. That's an instant knockdown, I think. Probably. Just duck at the right time. You see I'm just kind of dicking around too much, so I'm just letting myself get beat up. So yeah, he'll step back to throw either a high punch or a low punch, but depending on the direction he goes, you could counter it properly, which I try to do it a lot here, and I got screwed over for it. But really, I'm making this fight a lot harder than it needs to be. It's not definitely by no means a hard fight. Weaker in the gut, so punch there often. Not sure. There also can be differences between the damage in left and right punches, so be aware of that too. Not sure what it is here. It might not be even one. He's also doing triple kicks, which really I wish had different sprite work because it's exactly the same as the flying kick, but it's all right. And he chooses a direction. You just gotta dodge it 3 times. He also, we don't see it here, but he's also got a healing move where he does a pose and then he'll start healing, and you gotta punch him out of it. I'm actually surprised he actually threw these triple kicks 3 times. Is that it? That's it. Gotcha. Alright, at number 50, we actually have the other Dragon Chan fight. Really funny. And this time it's in the Super Arcade version. Number 4 of those 5 fights in there, and number 8 of the 11 arcade fights, and of course, obviously, the harder dragon fight of 2. This is the fight more fully kind of realized in ways because he's a lot better at blocking and he covers a lot more options. So it's about finding the correct spot, and he switches it up a lot, finding the correct spot in this moment. But unfortunately, he has his kicks in this, and they're instant knockdowns in here, but actually, I think that's what makes this fight easier. Sometimes when he blocks, he'll throw punches that are hard to dodge, but he starts to just keep throwing out his kicks over and over again, and the timing doesn't change because it's the original fight. And so it's just not bad at all. And honestly, he would probably be harder without, if he got a little bit stronger and different attacks that just weren't about the kicks, you know? If it was all about the concept of his blocking stuff, he'd be a much harder fight. But unfortunately, he's all the way down here next to its other fight. Now we have King Hippo for number 49. And 9 of 13 contender fights, 24 of 28 Wii fights, and the second of 3 King Hippo fights in this list. This is the first tier of medium difficulty. So he's got the same things as the original King Hippo. Now, if you're a newcomer, honestly, he opens his mouth so much that you wouldn't even realize that that's his mechanic. You're probably going to have to figure out really quickly that you have to jab him, of course, because he always blocks your thing. That's kind of what makes them, I say, medium difficulty. It's because his defense is tighter than most. He's a single knockdown character again, but he's a lot tankier and actually like a little formidable and not a joke in this one. But by no means hard, because it's the 4th fight in the game. Everyone in contender eats stars like a champ, or he just eats stars up. Not really like a champ. He'll lift his pants up there for his stars. And you can still do the same format of actually countering him when he opens his mouth, and you'll get more damage off of that. Dodge this new attack. Star punch him while he's open, when he opens his mouth there, and he's out. We're gonna show off a little bit more of King Hippo though, because there's one other way to counter that that little ear clap. And here it is right here. So yeah, you counter the ear clap, his crown comes off, but he's not knocked down. In fact, he gets a little bit of health. Just counter the ear clap again, and he'll be out. Another punch out Wii fight. We got a couple in line, and next we have Bear Hugger for 48. Number 8 of 13 fights, number 23 of the 28 fights in Punch Out, and number 2 of the 4 Bear Hugger fights, of course, below his title defense fight. The interesting thing about Bear Hugger here is, as you saw, you can't start off your stun combo with body blows, resembling his previous fights, but it doesn't matter after that. You just throw a jab, and then you can just throw body blows or base punches all you want during his stun. It's got a very strong ear clap, so don't want to dodge that, or don't want to get hit by that. Definitely a little on the strong side in terms of damage. compared to everybody else that's around him. You just gotta be aware of that. He's got this this right hook. Fuck, no, I'm getting messed up with mirrors. That's his left hook, but he stands to your right. You gotta dodge left for that one. And then he's got a really slow overhead, and you can only counter it with on the right side because of the way he poses afterwards. And yeah, hook, overhead, bear hug, all very easy, or they can be pretty easy to counter too. The overhead's a little slow, so I wouldn't even bother. And there he goes. Interestingly enough, this is the first time we're going to the World Circuit, and of course we got our buddy Aaron Ryan here for 47, and the 7th of 13 contender fights, the 22nd of 28 contender Wii fights, and the 3rd of 3 Aaron Ryan fights. He doesn't work like any other fighter here. First of all, he doesn't stand still. Second of all, you can't dodge and punish. You only get 2 hits and maybe a star if you time it right for the second uppercut. So what you gotta do is you gotta counter. Interestingly enough, it's not the uppercut to the left that to your left that you can counter, but you counter his overhead and then his launching hook where he bangs his head first. Watch out for this. Either block it to get a star, or counter it, or just dodge it. Lots of damage if you don't. You don't have to worry too much about losing hearts over blocking. Of course, if you get hit, yeah, that kind of sucks. You have to dodge it. There's a star there. Yeah, he always retaliates with a the uppercut if you dodge it, or if you dodge and punish it. Him always gets up at 7. So if he gets up at it, or if the ref's counting at a higher number than that, then he's out of there. Now I'm just kind of toying around with them, and I decide no more. And that's a KO. That's an instant knockout trick for Aaron Ryan. Now we're on to Great Tiger for number 46, and number 6 of 13 contender fights, number 21 of 28 Wii fights, and number 3 of 4 Great Tiger fights. You can't block his, blocking his jab doesn't do as much. You're better off just punishing it. There's his attack. I kind of screwed up there. But whenever his jewel blinks yellow, you get free punches just by punching the turban. It will start blinking red, and he will start punishing you for countering. That's the thing about this guy. He doesn't block in this one, but he doesn't block. But you have to. You can get a couple free hits sometimes, but the more you punch, the more it starts disappearing, and it'll start just throwing attacks like that. Just gotta watch out. Now he switches between 2 clones here. You can either dodge it, watch for the jewels. You can get an instant knockdown there. And as for his uppercuts, he's got a fast uppercut where he goes to your right, and you gotta dodge to the right, and then one where he goes to his left, or goes to your left, and you gotta dodge to your left, and it's delayed. So yeah, that part that adds to difficulty is first of all, that other uppercut's really fast. It's pretty fast. And you can see it screw me up there. Not sure why. I'm not sure what I'm trying to show, or if it's just me screwing up. Careful. That's why you don't always want to counter this guy. You just kind of want to wait for what's going on.
Where am I can't even find my chocolate bar. I must be in the
How
wrong
silly.
home.
Little trickster he is. Yeah, so once again, the main thing for me is really those uppercuts. What was I gonna say? Just they have different. This is the first time really where it's like you gotta choose a direction, and it's like they both have different timings. So you gotta learn the timings, and you gotta learn the directions too. It's a little bit. It's asking for a little bit more than what we've seen so far, of course. Of course, you can still get stars off them. This time I decide to dodge, and funny enough, he's not getting up because I've knocked him down 4 times, as I said earlier. Okay, we're on to our first title defense fight at number 45. How embarrassing, Disco Kid. It's the easiest title defense fight of 13 fights and the 20th easiest fight in the Punch-Out Weave series. This really says something, and this is the hardest Disco Kid fight. In my opinion, just too many of the same vulnerabilities. Gut punches for stars after your combo. Look at that, just 2 stars off of 1 attack by hitting his delayed hook. He's much faster. He's got a really fast jab. His hook's a little fast, but still delayed to give that variation. But really, not bad at all. Free taunts. Gotta watch out for this. It's a triple jab. You gotta time it right. It's a little hard. He's got a left jab too for some reason. You could just start punch him here, honestly, if you don't want to deal with it. He's got this left hooks. And sometimes he will dodge your star punches because it's title defense, but his is especially unreliable, his dodge. And yeah, that's pretty much Disco Kid. He's faster, but still got the same vulnerabilities. His super, a little tricky, but there's ways to get around it. And we're going to see that especially in a couple of seconds. Little heal there, apparently. We're taking it to the next round, but as you can see, as you're going to see, it's not going to matter. With his jump catch, he could either do 1 or might either do a 1 or 2, and of course, he will throw a certain amount of hooks based on that number. But it only goes up to 2, so don't worry. He's not going to do it here, so we're going to have to knock him down 1 more time, which is fine by me. Once again, going to save our stars, and you can see only attacks. Oh wait, he does it here. Okay, so this is an instant knockout. Triple star punch him while he's doing that little dance for his special move, and he's out. Okay, so Disco Kid, bro, what happened? We're back on Contender. It's number 44. We got Don Flamenco. Number 5 of 13 fights in Contender, and number 19 of 28 fights in the entire Wii series, and number 3 of 4 Don Flamenco fights. What a glow up. He looks so much better. I'm not sure what we're going with in the NES, but he does not look good at all. He actually looks honestly hot in this one. Definitely supposed to be a good looking guy. He works the same as he counters, but sometimes he will throw attacks like a special attack like that, where he will throw it himself, and it's just 3 hooks, dodge in the right direction, you get stars. If you just decide to duck, I think he throws an uppercut, and you get a little less stun and no star. So he's got a faster uppercut, and he's got a delayed uppercut. Now a left hook. He's got a lot of moves for a Contender fight, so I think that's part of what makes him a little harder. Also, got to knock him down a little bit more, 5 times I think, to truly knock him out by countdown. And as you see here, there's even more to him. Lots of depth in this fight, honestly, compared to what you fought against so far in the game. And really, what we've seen so far in general in this list.
Anda, anda. Venga, ven a por mí. Venga, ven a por mí.
As you saw there, I could get an extra hit in, and you'll see really what that gets into. If you remember, Don Flamenco has essentially an infinite with the right rhythm in the NES one, and the truth is, he has one here too. But we'll see that soon. And it definitely makes the fight a lot easier. But we gotta, in this list, we gotta take everything into consideration. There's a clap jab. And now comes the true power of Don Flamenco. His toupee gets exposed, and now he starts throwing punches. No stun at all for this. A new uppercut very delayed, very strong. Eventually, you dodge enough times, he will go into stun. But there's an easier way to deal with something like this, and that is, of course, his infinite, which you saw a little bit there. He also, during rage mode, which will still go on for a little bit, he'll take less damage, but you've always got this combo to deal with, or you've always got this infinite you can do. I'm kind of screwing up here, but and then the game realizes that you're doing it, and it decides to speed things up. It does a little bit more damage after every punch, makes things easier for us all. Just gonna get that back up here. Still in rage mode, of course. It's really only after the round ends or when you get knocked down that it gets out of rage mode. Other than that, you're just gonna be dealing with this. But that's fine by me because it's not too hard. And as you can see here, I got him down. Funny enough, he actually has a KO trick using the infinite, so I can shut it off here too. Essentially, this is what you do. You gotta hit him with the infinite. You gotta knock him down once, which is what we're gonna do. Then you gotta get a star. And then pretty much at any point you want while you're doing the infinite or like in the stun phase, we'll see soon. Throw the star punch, instant knockout. Little weird, definitely. I think that's the weirdest instant knockout next to Glass Joe. But I also wanted to show the one thing I learned. It's this. So when you're at 0 hearts, he'll throw those big uppercuts again, but they're faster, and he says Mira instead. So I just thought that was interesting because that's so hard to deal with because, you know, you have to dodge to get the hearts back. Anyway, let's go to the arcade for Bald Bull's 5th easiest fight of his 6. At number 43, we have Bald Bull, the 4th easiest of the original 6 arcade fights, and then 7th easiest of the 11 total. There's his bull charge, fairly easy to dodge or counter in this one, and really the key to this fight is just kind of wait until he does this little shimmy with his fists. So throw a quick jab there, and then just body blow him a ton until it eventually stops working. You can counter this hook with your jabs. That's pretty much the fight, honestly. The bull charge can make it a lot easier for you if you could just know how to counter. Sometimes you won't always be able to get counters out, so your best bet is as I said earlier, getting the hook and just getting those gut punches where you just shimmy. Not too bad, and he's out. We're actually going to go immediately to the next fight in the game at Kid Quick, a Glass Joe palette swap for number 42 and number 3 of the 6 original arcade fights and number 6 of the 11 total arcade fights in the series. I think this might be the most generic boxer in the entire series. Doesn't really have much to him, honestly. In terms of personality, but this is an annoying guy if you don't know what to do. He likes to, first of all, defense is very tight. Sometimes you won't be able to counter him at all, or punish him at all after you dodge, which is very frustrating. Sometimes he just doesn't even throw punches. So he's timed me out multiple times, and that's kind of what gets it for me. Really, the key here is, I think it's repeatedly doing the right jab, baiting in that left low hook, and countering off of that over and over again. He also can take multiple hooks and uppercuts, and sometimes you just won't even bother dodging them. And down he goes. Alright, we're actually here on our next title defense fight. Still got a couple contenders to go, but for now we're doing title defense Glass Joe at 41, second easiest of 13 title defense fights, and number 18 of 28. Number 18 of 28 total Wii fights, and the hardest Glass Joe fight. Makes sense because it's Glass Joe, and of course he's got headgear on this. so you can't hit him in the face currently. And you can see a little bit of his moves there. His jab is faster, his uppercut maybe a little bit faster. He gets a lot less stun from both. And you gotta watch out for this. This is his delayed uppercut, and this is what's gonna screw you over on your first playthrough. Because it's very new. It's got a similar cue to the other uppercut, but it's delayed. And here's another thing about Glass Joe. You throw a star punch and stun, and it'll raise his headgear up. You get a couple face punches. Once the headgear turns yellow, hit him in the gut to get another star, and you can chain it properly. But if you don't chain it properly, he can dodge it, and then he'll throw a jab immediately. This is like a little shimmy, but like it's a lot easier than it looks, really, because just hold your block, make it easier for yourself. It does even more. You get even more stun just by blocking. And on his kind of third knockdown phase, he'll just throw a lot of punches, a lot of jabs. Really, really easy, especially if you block. Now we've got the very next fight in a Punch-Out League for 40. Von Kaiser, number 11 of 13. Number 11 of 13 title defense fights. Number 17 of 28 Wii fights. And the hardest Von Kaiser fight. This is the last time we're seeing Von. He's got that same dodge thing, but sometimes not sure exactly when. But he may start throwing uppercuts immediately after, like hard to dodge ones. If you miss the counter for the dodge. Now he's kind of like Great Tiger, as he has an uppercut in one direction and a delayed uppercut in another direction that you have to dodge. He also in this one has the added feature of having to punch because of where he ends up after the punch. Watch out for that too. That is an instant knockdown. Don't want to get hit by that. Watch where he goes, either left or right. There's a quick jab, you gotta look up for that. But yeah, back to his uppercuts. His uppercuts, you have to hit for the right for that one. There's a fake out, free stars, and that's the issue with Von Kaiser. It's just like his contender. There's way too many ways to get stars on this one to consider this fight hard, which is a shame because I think it's a really fun fight. Unlike Contender, you have to triple star him to instantly knock them down. You triple star punch him instant and instantly knock him down, instead of just one or any star. So plenty of stars from his fake outs. I'm not really sure what those are for. Stars off the off his jab, because it's pretty much the same. Stars off his dodges by delaying your punches. You also get a couple extra hits after stun, as you saw earlier. Instant knockdown. The interesting thing about round 2 is he's actually just gonna start throwing the KO punches a lot, which is definitely very, very scary because, well, you've only got one option to dodge, or else you're kind of getting screwed. I'm trying to show that here, but eventually he does. Or I guess I didn't show it. I guess not, but he does do that. Kind of worth noting, but yeah, that's pretty enough on Kaiser. I forgot to mention this, but we're in a tier called Tricky from the start of Glass Joe. It's fights that I don't think are necessarily hard, but they can definitely give you some trouble. Anyway, we have Piston Honda's rematch from the NES Punch-Out at 39, number 8 of 14 NES fights, and number 2 of 4 Piston Honda fights. So now when he does his winky punches, he does a triple jab instead, followed by an uppercut. And then he throws his uppercuts. You can't counter the jab, so just wait for the uppercut to come out. Here comes the Honda Rush. Just block 4 of these punches, and then the uppercut. Simple as that. Sometimes he'll throw out a hook, sometimes he'll do the fancy switch sides. He does it like 4. He does it like 5 times, and then he throws out the punch. So watch out for that. He doesn't do it in this clip. And if you counter the Honda Rush just like that, you've actually knocked him out. And that's pretty much it for Honda, honestly. So It's funny because in this, only it's not in the other one, but only in this one, where if you counter the Honda Rush, you get an instant knockout. Aaron Ryan, man, what happened? Definitely does not look good, and he looks super generic in this game. It's glad to see what they did in Wii. They gave him some sort of personality. I mean, it's fucking awesome. He's crazy as hell. Anyway, number 38, Aaron Ryan for Super Punch-Out. Number 10 of 16 Super Punch-Out fights in the second of 3 Aaron Ryan fights. There he has a little grab, and it takes your damage, takes away your health. He does not take a lot of damage from anywhere except the supers. But as soon as you hit him with a super attack, an uppercut, or a hook, he retaliates with a grab. He's also got a Hurricane Rush too, and it's much faster. You gotta look out for that. So his is similar, except he starts low, and then he'll uppercut you, and then he'll do he'll do another rush again, and he'll start high. So watch him twitch like that. You punch him there. After he twitches, you can chain him so that you don't have to deal with the grab. That is the only way to deal with the grab, unfortunately. And that's pretty much the name of the game for Aaron Ryan. You see, it takes so much health away with those uppercuts, man. Those hooks and uppercuts, man. He does not like those things. Here's his rush again. Low, low, high, low, high, low, high. Uppercut. High, low, high, low, high, low. There you go. And he's out. Now we've got the major circuit champion of the NES, Bald Bull, coming in at number 7 of 14 fights and number 4 of 6 Bald Bull fights. So he's got these little rolling jabs. You can get hits off that, get a star maybe too, but he's a little tight on that. The funny thing about this guy is you fight him twice in this game, but in stun, if you throw a star punch, he will eventually start dodging them, which is so weird. But in his rematch fight, he doesn't, and you'll see why later. He throws 3 hooks and then 3 uppercuts. And that's pretty much his pattern. And then at a certain timestamp, he's gonna start doing his bullet charge. Gotta watch out for that. Don't want to get hit by it, but definitely want to counter it. He's gonna keep doing it over and over again until the round ends, pretty much. And this is like the first fight in Punch-Out that should like actually get you trouble. As a it's the first fight in Punch-Out that should give you trouble if you're a newcomer, because he requires some thinking and, you know, paying attention, really, timing, all that. Hasn't done his bolt charge yet, but I think I think it does that at the 2-minute time stamp, which is what we're at right now. Let's see. Guess not. 2:30 is my guess. 3 hooks, 3 uppercuts. Here we go. Just like that, he's out of there. Down and out. For number 36, we fast forward a little bit to the World Circuit to fight Soda Popinski for number 6 of 14 Punch-Out fights in the NES, and the easiest Soda Popinski fight, which is sort of saying something. That's a bit of a low floor because we're almost halfway through. So the interesting thing about this guy is if you hold a block when he throws an uppercut, he actually just kind of stands there for a little bit, and you can throw a gut punch to get a star off that. Also, I think at the end of your punch combo, this is my knowledge on the Wii, so I'm thinking it applies here. If you throw a star punch, it instantly knocks him down at the last hit of his stun. He's got a hook. He's got a pretty fast uppercut, and then he's got this little shimmy he does, and he does 3 jabs after that for a little bit of stun, and that's pretty much the Soda Popinski experience in here. I don't think you can dodge right for his hook, so don't do that. His uppercuts are definitely faster than anyone you've faced so far, so gotta be careful, but of course you can slow it down if you hold your block, but you don't always know if he's gonna throw that. It's about learning the patterns, really. Right, it looks like we're actually gonna go to the second round for this one. That's okay. as we get into the later NES fights, you're really gonna see what puts this guy so lower. Of course, well, compared to how hard the other fights are in the NES. And it's really, to me, comes down to HP. Like, you can see every punch knocks down his health bar a little bit, but in a fight like Super Macho Man, some of the punches don't do a thing, you know. So it's like they're just so much tankier than Popinski. But by no means an easy fight. Takes skill, takes patience, all that. I do think this fight's a little overrated. I don't know. Whenever I hear about Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, I feel like I hear... The two people I hear are like Sandman, Soda Popinski. And I'm just like, no. Neither of them are... I don't think either of them are that hard. Especially this guy. Because, I mean, I have it at 36. Low recovery there from health. And because of that, got an easy TKO. We still haven't finished the contender fights, but we're still doing, but we're still on title defense here. We got number 10 of 13 title defense fights and number 16 of 28 Wii fights. We have Aaron Ryan, and it's his hardest fight. So last time we're gonna see him, he's much faster. This time you don't even get anything from dodging because he retaliates too fast. And you counter him here, you get a single hit, but then he retaliates with either a headbutt, a delayed elbow like that, or a quick elbow, a really quick elbow. But it's kind of easy to tell when he's doing it. And also this thing, because he's a goddamn cheater. The headbutt didn't tell you that. You get a star off the combo for the 7th hit, and what? Yep. Gotta watch out for that. So if you jab him when he gets knocked down, he will try to throw one last little cheap punch with the thing. For jabs, you gotta duck. If you throw a hook or body blow, you gotta dodge to the left or right. I'll start adding more to this combination is there. As you saw, he did 2 highs and one slam. Eventually, he'll just do 2 highs and 2 slams. Definitely not a hard fight. If you're fast enough, you can actually get stars off those retaliating punches, which is nice. You can counter that uppercut too, but the timing's a little bit tighter. You can counter the headbutts too for a little bit more damage. But we've pretty much seen the entire Aaron Ryan experience. It's not too different, really, and he still just takes hits, way too many hits. Instead of just simply countering, you gotta counter, dodge, then punish, and that's pretty much the name of the game for Aaron Ryan. The same attacks work the same way. He just has retaliation punches you gotta look out for. Slow elbow, some punches, retaliates with an uppercut. Rope punch, or rope attack, duck, duck, slam, slam, and you got your 3rd star. Headbutt. You can block that too for a thing, for a star. Forgot to mention this too. For his headbutts, you have to time it right. You gotta block correctly. By the way, we're done with this fight. That's his KO trick. Any star punch level works. You can instantly knock him out. Let's go to another title defense fight. We have Great Tiger here. I feel like some people may be surprised. I don't know. I always remember this fight being hard. First of all, can't counter there. The timing for it's a little bit different because his jab's actually slower in this one, and you'll see that soon. The jewels signify where he's going to attack. It's the 9th of 13 title defense fights, 15 of 28 Wii fights, and the 2nd of 4 Great Tiger fights. There's a combination there. He flashes his jewels, and then you gotta dodge accordingly. If you counter all of his things, then you get a star. Pretty similar so far, except his attacks are even more telegraphed. Gotta watch out for this. It's much faster than the previous one. He does it multiple times, and if you counter all these hits, duck this thing, star punch him, you knock him the heck out. But that's not really fair to the Title Defense Great Tiger experience, so we're gonna go back into this fight and really show what he can do. As you can see, the timing for the jab to get the star is a little bit delayed. These are instant go punches counters to get the stars. Here's the combination. If you don't counter after dodging, you put him in stun instead of getting a star. The funny thing about this fight is that he actually blocks in this one, which is really funny to me. And if you don't feel comfortable countering these uppercuts, just dodge them. Duck this, he goes into stun. You just finish the combo there. Star, just like that. Now I'm just generating the stars. So yeah, he just, I don't know, man. They just finally decided to give him a block, and I think that's really, really funny. It's just such a weird change. There's an ear clap, so you have to duck for that one. Looks like his his special move is health base, because you can see when he's getting under half, he's starting to do it. Should probably stop using those triple stars so much, so I can still showcase the fight. Soon we'll be able to see what else he does differently, but I'm getting a little bit too ahead in this clip, so it's hard to see kind of what's different. But we're gonna see it in a little bit. He's gonna start disappearing during his attacks, just like that. He just flashes out for a little bit, comes back in for the actual attack. Once again, just like that. It's supposed to make the cues harder, but really, you probably already know the timing for each of these things. Maybe not the ear clap, but so I don't know. And plus, you had the jewels indicating what move he's gonna do anyway. So to me, it's not that hard. In fact, could be even easier in a way, especially because of that jewel. I'm not sure if you can counter them when he disappears. You might be able to. I'm not entirely sure. You can use this time to you can use those counters to also whittle down his health a little bit, so that you can make it easier to knock him down, just like that. Don't want to get too risky, or else you might take a bit of damage. As you can see, that uppercut took like 1/4 of my health. Now here's a combinations again. He uses pretty much all of his moves except for jab. This is right again, left, and yeah, that's pretty much all that changes. So just if you already know the cues, the disappearing really just does not mean anything, in my opinion. This time he throws out 5. He threw out 4 the last time. He's down again. He's almost got a TKO on him. Just saving my star. Just taking it easy at this point. I know his health is low. 2-star punch is gonna do it, and we're about to get it here. Just dodge this. Oh my god, I screwed it up. And now he goes back. Immediately just retaliates. Panic attacks, special move. That's okay. I'm hitting him every time. I don't even need to. But here we go. That's it for Title Defense Great Tiger. But that's enough of that. Let's go to our next fight. Narcissus Prince at 33, number 9 of 16 Super Punch-Out fights. Now, the Super Punch-Out has something called a special circuit. And yeah, this is it. So the whole gimmick with this guy is that he won't let you punch you in his face because it does a lot of damage to him. And now he's in rage mode, so he's faster and he does a lot more damage, but you're not really going to see that. This is where the true fight begins, is when he's in rage mode. But I'm doing a lot of damage to him, so that's the thing. He can definitely do some damage to you. He has a triple high block combination that can screw you up if you don't block it. But as you can see here, I'm trying to hit him in the face. He's just not able to. Sometimes won't even be able to have an opportunity to hit him in the face. You gotta stun him and then hit him in the face. Not every attack in his normal mode does that. But once he does, the true fight begins, and you just gotta watch out for his quick jabs, and you just don't want to get hit by anything, which is not asking for much. Tap, goes for an uppercut, I go for an uppercut, and I knocked him out. TKO. Very quick. Very quick, little tricky, but not a big deal. At number 2, we've got Wii contender Soda Popinski, the fourth hardest contender fight of 13, the 14th hardest Wii fight, so it's a complete midpoint, and the 3rd easiest, and number 3 of 4 Soda Popinski fights. As you can see here, don't even bother throwing gut punches. You don't really need to, with a couple exceptions. But the thing I like about Soda Popinski is I'm doing this on purpose to show that he has really 3 attacks, and they all cover exactly 2 options, and they all cover and as a total, every attack covers every option. His hook covers the middle and the left, so dodge right or duck. His uppercuts are faster, but they cover your duck and your neutral stance. And his side step punches, which we'll see in a little bit, cover your right and your middle. As you can see here, this is his rage mode, and I pretty much showed all the ways you could get into that rage mode. That makes the fight a lot easier because you just dodge a bunch of uppercuts and they're really cycled easily. You just don't want to get too tripped over if it's 3 or 4. There's the side step punches. You see him dodging to the right, doesn't matter. Gotta duck or dodge to the left for that one. If you don't punch that out of him, he will just get a lot of health back. And if you do punch out of it, you get a star, but he goes into rage mode. If you star punch him at all, he will also go into rage mode. So you can all do that just to cycle rage modes when you don't really feel like dealing with the main difficult deal, which is his 3 attacks. Unfortunately, they're very segmented. Like, you can tell when he's going to do his side step punches because he does them a lot, only in one section of his pattern. By the way, here's a knockdown trick. A delayed left hook, and then a jab, and then a star punch. You can do the same thing over and over again, but you actually need to have 1 more star each time. So next time I gotta do it to 2 stars. If I want to do it one more time, I gotta do it with the 3 stars. Yeah, you can see here, he just stops for a while. You can tell easily he's gonna do it. This fight itself, not too hard, not really tricky, but you can tell he's got a moveset which could be used, when used properly, could be devastating, which we are going to see a lot later. Those uppercuts are fast, man. He also just has a right one. He has it in both directions, which doesn't really matter. I'm not really sure why, but a little bit for show, because I mean he's at low health anyway, but that would be an instant knockdown if he had more health. We're about done with Soda Popinski here. Oh, you bastard. You bastard. I can't believe that. Mid-round, he actually heals in between, he actually heals mid-between rounds. But yeah, we just took care of him there. Knockout. Alright, let's return to Super Punch-Out for number 31, but this time we're not going to be in the special circuit, we're going to be in the major circuit to cover the last 2 fights for these next 2 things. We got, the 3rd fight of the major circuit here, Mass Muscle at number 31, number 8 of 16 in Super Punch-Out, so we're at the halfway mark there. Very weak to left gut punches? Gut punches in general, but left especially. And watch out for that spin. If you get hit by that, your vision screws up a little. There's a combination, high-low. Screws up your vision and you actually can't punch, which is so weird. You can't start with a hook on this guy, so you gotta do that. You gotta start with a jab. Don't want to get hit by this. That's a headbutt. You gotta look out for that. The sprites for that's a little weird. Honestly, it's hard to tell what he's doing. If you dodge the headbutt, though, you gotta hit him with the gut punch there. You see there? Misses. And he's got little, got them great tiger uppercuts where he shifts to the left and right. You gotta hit in the right direction. There, see? Tried to hit the left. He was in the right, though. Watch out for the spit. Got it screwed up there. And now I can't attack. I'm pressing the punch buttons, man. I can't do anything. As you see, I'm doing left gut punches a lot. So it's definitely left gut punches to get the maximum damage. And he's down. And now let's do the very next fight, the Major Circuit Champion, Mr. Sandman at number 30, number 7 of 16 Super Punch-Out fights, and the first time we see him in 5 times. Another juggernaut, but not as much as what we're gonna see in two matches. Which is funny because he's a lot more serious than that guy. We'll get to it. Anyway, yeah, I don't know why, but for some reason when he's in stun, sometimes he just will retaliate when you try to throw one. I think it might have to do with the direction. My theory is that certain attacks you have to, when he goes low on them, you have to super high, and vice versa. I'm not sure. The funny thing about this is he's got like Reggie Gigas, and he's a sleepy guy. You know, he's Mr. Sandman. That's why they call him that. So he actually struggles in his first 2 knockdowns, and that's in a way his slow start. But you see here, his corner's gonna tell him to give him full power, and when he does his little footwork, that's when he does the Dreamland Express, which is 3 uppercuts. He also does his, if you saw earlier, he has a combination with 2 jabs that you block, and this is it. That jab you cannot block. That last jab you cannot block in the end. There's a low hook. Another low hook. See, I'm hooking there, but I'm just not too sure. And that's pretty much Sandman. Sometimes he can just screw you over a little bit for reasons I don't know. As to be expected, we're almost done with the contender fights, so we have number 3 of the 13 fights at Bald Bull, number 13 of the 28 fights in the Punch-Out Wii series, and the 3rd of 6 Bald Bull fights. I think Guts do they do a little bit damage, but you see there, don't bother too much with the Guts. You can extend it a little bit there. Looks like I did a little bit more damage, but whenever you do, it ends your stun combo. A lot less stun compared to everybody else you face from this point forward. His rolling jabs are slow, but they only give you 2. But as you see right here, I'm actually getting extra, and those are like, that's gonna be a common theme with these other fights. You've seen it in Dawn and Vaughn in their title defense fights, but you can actually get extra hits, a couple extra hits after they're stunned. And that's especially prevalent here in Bald Bull, because if you do it enough, you can most likely get stars from it. There's this quick hook. Don't want to dodge to the right for that one. That's a quick uppercut. Gotta look out for that. That's me getting title defense incorrectly. This is his ball charge. Don't want to get hit by that. That's an instant knockdown. Not sure if I did that on purpose or not. Not too sure, but it's a good showcase of you getting knocked down. Yeah, it looks like you can actually do a hook to do an extra hit after the stun thing is done. Yeah, there's pretty much all to say about Bald Bull. That uppercut is so mean damage, and it's really fast. And that thing is so slow too, those jabs. This right here, I'm just trying to show the yeah, unfortunately he's not budging, he's not doing the bull charge. Cheap uppercut at the very beginning of the round. Bulbo's a little cheap. He likes to do stuff like that with his uppercut. It's actually really funny. Sometimes he'll actually laugh after a successful uppercut, and you can get a star off that. It's really funny. Not sure if he does it in here, but in title defense, he will sometimes, when he hits an uppercut, throw an uppercut over and over again. And I think he does that in one of his NES fights too. really, really funny. Taking care of it really easily here. Here we go, it's bull charge time, and this time we're not going to screw up or showcase what the damage output does. As you can see there, instant knockout. No more contender ball bowl. We're on to the next fight. For number 28, we have Super Macho Man Contender Mode on Wii. Second hardest contender fight. 12th hardest fight in the Wii series, and the easiest Super Macho Man fight of 5. This guy of any fighter has the lowest floor, even with Sandman, which is really saying something, because yeah, really only in the Wii games is he more of a joke than Sandman. But they're both formidable in all the games they appear in. And this one, little tone back, especially this contender fight. But by no means easy, little tricky. The whole game is he has those 2 uppercuts. Direction doesn't matter, but they have different timings. Watch out for that. That's a macho spin. That's half your health if you don't duck it. So that could be a little troublesome. It's a little fast, so you know. A delayed hit there gives him a star punch. And then you can hit him in the gut so that you can star punch him immediately. There's a star there, just from those extra hits. On the left, there's a quick hook that he likes to do, and there's a taunt, and we've got one more knockdown. So there's one thing about Macho Man that we're missing, and you know he hasn't been doing too many macho spins compared to what we're gonna see in all the other fights. So we'll just have to see what happens. So now I'm just kind of laying the beat down, not really worrying about anything. There's another spin. Really gotta watch out for that, because that's some damage. But, oh, here we go. Now, the thing about this one, it works different from all the other Super Macho Punches, because it's all about cycling properly. You gotta cycle properly. You gotta cycle properly 3 spin punches. If you do it right, you'll be fine. Now we've got Don Flamenco 2 at 27, number 5 of 13. NES Punch-Out fights, number 2 of 4 Don Flamenco fights. I had a moment where I thought this fight was like insanely difficult for, really just because of the repeated hooks, they just weren't. Oh, and also because you can't quick dodge these jabs. It's annoying. And it's like my dodges were just not coming out at the time when I was doing the hooks, which is really weird. But as you can see here, unlike every other Don Flamenco fight, he's actually fighting. And this is actually, he has 2 modes. This is first mode where he throws jabs and hooks, but later on you're going to see he's going to go back to his regular old Don Flamenco self like this, but he's more of a dickhead about it, because, well, you'll see eventually. I'm actually getting a little lucky here, and you'll see why. He does also have, not an infinite, but I think if you do the rhythm properly, you can get some extra hits. As you can see, he's not throwing out the uppercut all the time. He's wasting your hearts, but nonetheless, you still have to still got to throw a punch. And that's the thing. That's the thing about this fight, is he's just a dickhead. And look at that stun. So he's back to his counter stance, counter mode, and just not giving me anything to work with. Just draining time on the clock, draining my hearts. Super duper annoying. Just wasting everyone's time. Didn't work there. Yeah, this is gonna go to round 3 because we're just not getting anything. Gotta look out for the hook. Eventually, he's actually gonna go back to maybe it might be timestamp based, but now I see he goes back to attack mode. You can get stars by gut punching the jabs. It's a little hard, or it may be hard to figure that out at first, but he does jabs in a row, so you can get free ones. You at least get free ones after, you know, the first one. You don't even look pretty with the toupee, man. Why even bother? Yeah, no, Don's an ugly bastard in this one, in so many ways. But let's get into this fight. We knocked him down once. Really gotta use these jabs to get those stars. Wasn't feeling myself there. Wasn't sure. See, look. I don't know. I'm not sure if that's input delay or something. Maybe I have to play on original hardware or something. I'm just not too sure on why that's just not coming out. My dodges on those attacks specifically. That's going to be a common theme for this game and also, well, not really this game, just for the Don Flamingo fights, but really the arcades. Sometimes you just don't feel like giving it to you. I feel like I'm dodging the same too. Knocked him down a second time. We got a star. It's got not much health left, and no more Don. No more Don. He went to his counter phase, but we weren't having any of that. None of that. Now we're actually getting into the hard fights. The fights I would actually call hard. This is the first of the hard tier. We have King Hippo. Title fits King Hippo, who has a fucking manhole on him at number 26. Number 8 of the 13 Fight Defense fights. Number 11 of the 28 Wii fights. And the hardest King Hippo fight of 3. This is King Hippo fully realized and really mastering the idea of having to punch him in the when his mouth is open, because he will do the same attacks but not not open his mouth. As you see there, he does the overhead, but he doesn't open his mouth, unlike NES. And he's got a variety of attacks, still a single knockdown, but very, very tanky. His jabs, he will never open his mouth for anymore. You can't even block them. You just get nothing off the jabs. There's a delay jab, and he will open his mouth for this one, but you gotta hit him. You gotta hit him in the opposite jab direction in that one, and then his stun starts. And look at that. Look how much time we're wasting. Not that it matters. It's a single knockdown. Uh-oh. It's just... And if you saw earlier, his ear clap has an extra attack. Got a slam where you gotta dodge to the left and right. I also forgot to mention the fucking manhole. Or, like, the whole idea. So, right, he does an overhead. You gotta hit him. And then you gotta hit him, you know, where he's facing, where he's leaving the tape open, and punch that, and gut punch that direction 3 times. And then you just do that with the delay jab, and then the ear clap, and I just knocked him out. But yeah, by no means an easy fight. Formidable opponent, can screw you over in so many ways, especially with his damage output. And just trying to find that opening can be really hard. Alright, so coming in at number 25, we've got Bulbo's rematch in the NES fight. The second to last Bulbo fight we're gonna see, and the fourth hardest fight in 13 or the fourth hardest fight in 14 NES Punch-Out fights. The key to this one and the next Bulbo fight is that you cannot knock him down unless it's a star punch. In this game, there is an exception. You can counter the bull charge and it will knock him down. He does a little shimmy every so often, especially when after he gets knocked down or you get knocked down, he will do the shimmy, and then you get a free star by a gut punch. So that makes the mechanic of having to knock him down with a star a little bit more bearable. Just the fact that you can get stars a lot, just because of how many times he does it. His pattern's similar, because look, 3 hooks, and then 3 uppercuts. Just like before, he won't dodge star punches and stuns, so that's nice. In ways, he's easier, but just the mechanic, to me, it just makes it, solidifies it being harder. Plenty of stars, and you can even just use them just to get damage in, like I'm doing here. Honestly, you don't really need to play conservative with the stars with how many times you get them. I think I actually just knocked him out. Do I have anything more to say about it? I don't know. It's Bulbo. That's pretty much it. It's NES fight. Bare bones. Bare bones NES fights. Now here we go with the champion of the world in Punch-Out Wii. Number 24, Mr. Sandman. The hardest contender fight, of course. Number 10 of the total Wii fights. And number 4 of the 5 Sandman fights. This man is big, fast, and just brutal. He's got a fast overhead, he's got a delayed overhead just to screw you over. There's a hook, which is a little offsetting. It's like medium paced. There's a boo because he knows how scared you are. And when you attack him, you hit it. You gotta jab him, but then he retaliates, lifts his fist up. So then you have to hit him in the gut for the rest of the combo. Knocked him down there. As you see, he's taking a lot of. He's really, really strong. Of course, you can always counter every punch. It's punch out Wii. Look out for this. I actually get screwed over by this so many times. It's because I'm expecting him. So when he does that, when he does the Dreamland Express, oftentimes he'll boo at you to taunt, and that's what I'm trying to anticipate. Because if you counter anytime he does a boo, you can get a star off that. And there's even more to it. See, it doesn't do it there. What ended up happening is I actually end up losing this fight, which is not lost a contender fight in a while. There's a delayed right hook. Yeah, no, not pretty. Fast forward a little bit just to show me actually losing, and then we'll actually get into a good run of Sandman. Yep, see that? Funny thing, I'm actually close to TKOing me here, and then I get hit. I get screwed over by the delayed overhead, and down I go. A very hard fight for sure. But here's what a good run of Sandman does look like. You can get an extra hit as well. At the finisher's stun, if you so say my final punch is left gut, then if I do a right jab, then you get an extra hit. For being as strong as he is, just like every other contender fight, he actually he's scared of start punches, just like everyone else. Doesn't matter where you throw it, it's very scared of it. Don't want to get hit by those. Not actually that much damage in this one, but in the future, I think it'll do a lot more, probably. Boo! Gets me every time. He's just so full of himself. There's the boo during the Dreamland Express, and there's dodging it in general. Get a lot of punches out of that. It's three kind of slow uppercuts. At least compared to like Soda Popinski, you know, because it's those rapid. And you time the star punch right, you can instantly knock him down when he does that boo. And with that, we are now officially champions in Punch Out Wii. But how did Little Man get here? Well, he got a little bit of training from Doc Lewis, and I gotta say, man, for being apparently washed, Doc Lewis can screw a couple people up in the WVBA, but I guess he's past his prime and doesn't want to do anything anymore. At number 23, we got Doc Lewis, number 9 of 28 Wii fights. This is the other exception. This is the sparring mode. He has 3 versions: warm-up, training, and sparring. And honestly, I could include all 3, but I think having 3 is a little redundant. If it was just warm-up and sparring, maybe, because it's like, the difference there is kind of like a top, it's like a title defense fight, almost. Except for the outfit. Well, actually, I should probably shut up, because his outfit does change, because I took his chocolate bar, and if you do that, he strips for you. Just dead ass. And he heals anyway. At least the first time around. So now, every attack Doc does is a lot stronger, and he hurts like bullets more than anyone else, man. I swear he's especially strong. Anyways, let's talk about a bit of his attack. So, first of all, he has a really quick jab, and then a double jab, and then sometimes he will run in pace, and he'll do maybe a hook, or a jab combination, and then he's got uppercut. Holy shit, that did so much.
That's the one I taught you.
He's also got that hard attack, which is really hard to dodge, and the star punch.
Duck this one.
Gotta duck that. And he's got 2 uppercuts, a slow one and a fast one, both equally devastating. And he doesn't take that much stun either. He doesn't take that much stun from many attacks. For his jabs, you only get like 2 hits, And that's because he only has a single health bar like King Hippo. He just has more opportunities to heal because he has his chocolate bar. He at least has like a health bar and a half, honestly. I'm not too sure about the start timings on this one. I gotta say, man, this is like a reward for Club Nintendo, man. They didn't have to go all out on this one, and I really like this fight. It's a lot of fun. Gotta watch where he's showing you that chocolate bar. I see I missed there, and I jabbed in the wrong direction and gave him some more health for no reason. As you see there, he runs a pace and he does a different move depending on that. There's that.
That's the one I taught you.
Did you see me trying to dodge it? You can feel when it's coming, but it's really hard to dodge that. And that's the point, is just for him to get a free punch. Doc, what the hell, man? He tells me to keep it clean and throws a star punch immediately, bro. You just can't do that. I'm trying to get better here. That's a BM.
That's the one I taught you. Come on.
Treat your sparring partner with respect.
That can't be. Dodge. Oh, I telegraphed that.
There's not much stun, so it's taking forever, you know. We're going to the third round for sure. Sometimes he won't throw the star punch immediately, just like that. And if you hit him just like you, he'll lose a star, which makes it a little. I mean, he's a boss character, so I feel like he should keep it, but it's okay. It's not that hard of an attack to dodge. But if you do get hit by the star punch, it's an instant knockdown because it's a Doc Lewis. It's a Doc Lewis star punch. What do you expect, Doc? I'm kind of getting fucked up here. Just look at me. Listen to his heavy breathing. So unsettling, man. I just love it. Doc is he's just a tired, washed boxer in this one. I would not want to know what Prime Doc looks like. I would not want to know. His jab, he's just got so many moves, and that quick jab, just like varied, speedy attacks, you know. Well, let's go back into title fence and let's play against Don Flamenco at number 7 of the 13 title defense fights, and number 8 of the total 80 or 28 Wii fights, and the hardest version of Don Flamenco of 4. You see here, he's got a couple more attacks, less stun, same old Don style counter and punish his counter. As you can see there, he had a backhand as an attack. Saying right now, he was supposed to do the left hook as his first attack, but right now, he's just doing his slow and fast uppercuts. Here's his hooks. He switches directions here, and in later versions, he's gonna do 4 and 5. He's gonna count to cuatro and cinco. He's got an infinite in this one too, but it's different, and we'll get to it later. Watch out for his backhands. Don't dodge where he's going. And see there, that was a combination. So now he's gonna start doing combinations. And now you see, I'm actually like waiting a second to see if he's gonna do the combinations. So some of the combinations you can do, sometimes you throw an uppercut, and then the backhand, he could also throw a fast uppercut, and then a really fast left hook, a really fast Olay left hook. You'll see it later, but you're not gonna see it. You'll see it in his rage mode. And when he does his left hook, he'll sometimes follow up with an uppercut and say Mira. There it is, Mira. So me personally, I've never had trouble with this fight, but that's probably because I've spoiled myself a lot as a kid when I was playing this. And you know, I would restart fights. I would never finish fights through, and as a kid, I would always restart as soon as I was doing bad. So that's how I learned, really. And I watched a lot of YouTube walkthroughs. Oh, there goes his toupee. But really, I do think this fight can be hard to somebody who's blind to it, because he's got lots of attacks. Watch out! Just such a cheap and really fast move. There's the mega uppercuts. And here's his jab, or here's his infinite. It's you gotta do one body blow, and then opposite directional jab, and then the opposite direction of that jab, and then opposite direction of that jab in a body blow. So for example, left body up right jab, up left jab, right body, up jab, left jab, right jab. You can see it right here. But yeah, no, Don's formidable to me, in my opinion. He's got lots of combinations and stuff, which you could sometimes just like avoid, as you saw there. I just punched him because I thought he wasn't gonna do it, and it canceled the attack. Cycle it out. Still in a stun mode here. Looks like we're done. I'm playing with him a little bit just to show how mean that move is, but yeah. By no means an easy fight. Plenty of ways to attack you, and you just gotta watch out for all the timings of all of them. Now let's go a little bit earlier into title defense for Piston Hondo. I honestly do not think this fight is that hard, but as a kid, I used to believe this fight was really hard. For one of the hardest title defense fights is 21 Piston Hondo, the hardest Piston Hondo fight of 4, the 6th hardest title defense fight of 13, and the 7th hardest fight in total of 28. So he's faster, his uppercuts are faster. You cannot counter his jabs. You actually have to do something a little bit different to get the stars. Here's this Hondo Rush. You can counter this, or you can just do that. It's faster, rapid jabs. And now we're going to get into the Piston Hondo mechanic, and you're going to see a bit of the NES version, which I'm sorry if I spent so little time on it. But I hope it doesn't matter. See there? He actually delayed his uppercut. He did it before, but he was doing a winky face in this one. There he switches directions. And that's the whole mechanic, is that he switches directions. It doesn't matter where he goes, because you just gotta dodge left and right. But it matters when he releases. And that's the whole point of it. There's how you get the star. You can get 3 extra hits after, or you get 2 extra hits also after everything. There's a delayed one right there, delayed uppercut, gotta watch out for that. Now here's a faster Hondo Rush. There he does a wing punch to kind of throw you off if you're in a rhythm. If you're too much in the rhythm, it can screw you over. And you're gonna see that soon. I'm gonna get screwed over by the rhythm. And here's the thing about Piston Hondo, you can counter the, with a properly timed thing. You can... By the way, look at that damage output from the Hondo Rush. That was his fastest version too. He has 3 phases, and that winky punch, it screwed me over. It screwed off my groove. That's interesting. So he stops bowing you like that. He stops bowing you, or he stops letting the bow be a free punch. But it's actually just like the jab, which we're gonna see. So you block it, and then you get the star. And as he switches, as you saw, he switches directions. That if you gut punch in the right direction, you'll get a star out of it. You can always just punch him anyway, just to not deal with it. I thought he was gonna do it there, because it's an instant knockdown if you do. Star. Just kind of waiting for him to throw. Got me there. See how much he's getting me there, and I'm really trying to get those punches there. But if you want to play safe, you by all means do it. Just wait for him to release. You should make things a lot easier than I'm making it for myself right now. Here comes the thing. I counter it, and I get a star. And I think that might be only for the final version. By the way, hell of a timing there. That might only be for that version, but I think in the level 2 Hondo Rush, if you counter it properly, you can actually knock him down. But I think in the fastest one, you might not be able to. I'm not sure. I've never been able to. See, I'm trying to get it there. Not working. Sometimes he's quick with it like that. Just not picking the right directions. Close. Oh my god. I should really give myself a star here. But I eventually do, I think. Yeah, by countering this. Star. It's a very good thing to counter. You don't want to deal with that because if you do, you get it. The first, I mean, every jab does a lot of damage, so you're at least a guarantee to hit. Now 18 seconds left on the clock, but little do you know, the fight's over because as soon as I press the star punch button, he does that, which leads exactly to an instant knockdown and a TKO for us. Been a while since we have touched Super Punch out. For the arcade, we have Vodka Dronkinski here. That was his name at the time. Decided to sober up and get addicted to something else later on in his non-canonical whatever the Punch Out canon is, which it varies in between games. Anyway, number 20, Vodka Dronkinski. Number 3 of 5 fights, number 5 of 11 fights, and number 2 of 4 Soto Popinski fights. The whole idea is this: you want to keep your guard up all the time because he will get free jabs on you, and usually 2 jabs signify, or 1 jab signifies a left hook, 2 jabs signify a right hook, and then there's a quick uppercut there that he throws after every knockdown. Eventually, he gets out of this jabbing mode where he stops doing the jabbing and hooks, and he'll start just throwing punches. There's a free jab, and then now you just gotta wait for his uppercut, which is really, really fast. And that's pretty much it. Definitely hard, because you got a lot, because his attacks are very fast, but you can definitely do it. Now let's go into another arcade fight in Pizza Pasta at number 19, number 2 of 6 of the first arcade fights, and number 4 of the 11 arcade series. Now, Pizza Pasta is he's such a big meanie. Lots of his attacks you can't really counter. The key really is to keep left hooking. There's the Aaron Ryan grab, or well, his grab. And here's the thing, you just kind of have to accept that he's just gonna beat the shit out of you. He pretty much attacks where you're not blocking. You could try and counter it, and maybe you get some luck, but man, I've not been able to. He's just a cheap man. A lot of his attacks you can't counter. His defense is very tight because of that. The key to actually dodging this, you gotta hold right. You have to hold right while he's grabbing you. As soon as he gets released, keep holding right, and then he throws the uppercut, and then you can probably get an instant knockdown. There, he just throws 3 instant low punches. He's just a dickhead in so many ways. But your best bet is throwing this left jab and countering whatever he throws. Usually it should work as long as it's not a jab, but just keep doing it. Keep fishing that as much as you can, and it actually turns the fight pretty easy. If you could do it properly, which I'm not right here. Might be a bit of an input lag. I'm kind of getting destroyed here, and he took me out. That's Pizza Pasta for you, but let's look at a much cleaner run of Pizza Pasta. See, quick left jab, it just baits his counter. Constant left jabs, some hooks. And eventually he will just do his grab. It takes away your KO meter, but it does do damage in this one. And if you dodge it, he pretty much gets down. Look at that, no damage at all. Doing fine in this one. He hasn't done any cheap moves. His cheap moves usually come after his grab, or, well, when I got up last time, he did those triple low blows. Let's see if he gets up. I feel like he might not. Oh, he does. Gotcha. Instant uppercut. See, it's random punches, because he's mean. And this is the input lag. I'm actually like really confused as to why I'm not able to dodge here. There's a counter punch. Nonetheless, I still get the job done in this. Look at that. Triple body blows. But we got him. we haven't touched Super Punch-Out in a while, so we're going to go to the World Circuit for Mad Clown at number 18, number 6 of 16 Super Punch-Out fights. Very clearly bear hugger palette swap, so he works the same, and that you just can't hit him in the guts. He does point to his stomach as well. I don't get it here. I don't think I get it in this clip, but it has to be on the second point, but I do it a little bit too late. You're going to see. There's a couple of his attacks. He's got backhand, so you got to watch out. He's got an uppercut too. He's got an ear clap, but it's a little bit different. If he hits you with it, he does a little bit of damage, and then he drags you across the ring. He drags you to the ropes. You bounce back, and he tries to hit you with an attack. It's kind of crazy. I wish I could show it here. I don't think I do, though. Yeah, no, this is a fun fight for me. You gotta watch out for his backhands. You gotta watch where he goes. Here's his other special attack. He throws balls. You gotta watch what direction you choose, and then watch out for that. You gotta duck that, or else you get instantly knocked down. There's a backhand, so you gotta dodge left for that one because he hits the right. And here comes showtime. So when coach calls showtime, this is what happens, and he just does rapid jabs. It'll throw you off, but you figure it out pretty quickly that he does rapid jabs, and that's pretty much it. It's a challenging fight, plenty of attacks, plenty of different timings, challenging fight. And next up, we actually had the fight before Mad Clown in the World Circuit at Hiki Kagero, number 17 and number 5 of the 16 Super Punch-Out fights. He's weaker in the guts. I think in the right gut punches, I think. Yeah. He's got plenty of attacks and plenty of special attacks, and that's what makes it hard. And also this thing, the Mirage Dance. Sometimes he decides to do this, whatever the hell that is. Just keep hitting the gut punch button. See what happens. You might get hit or something, but you can probably get counters off of it. There's the hair flip, and that's the thing about Kiki. Is unlike all the other Super Punch-Out characters, is like he has a variation of timings for different attacks. The hair flip, you have to dodge to the left and then duck it. It's 2 attacks. And then he also throws an uppercut. That's a hair flip too, but it's not the same looking, so that could still throw you off. But that's a combination he does too. He also has a jab combination where he just left and right shimmy. There's how you properly dodge the hair flip. He instantly throws an uppercut if you get down, or if he does. There it is. Mirage Dance, just keep punching. See, I got hit there, but it's no big deal because I'm about to knock him out. Got him there, and that should be it, right? Indeed, it is. Definitely troublesome fight. Gotta learn all those patterns he does, because it's what you have to do, it varies a lot. Next up, we have another Super Punch-Out fight, and it's going to be the last fight in the hard tier. Number 16, Hoi Corlo, number 4 of 16 fights. Now, this guy, he has stances he's going to do and such. So, and that's really the thing. He has combinations. There's a combination right there. Sometimes he'll do a stance before it, so you can tell. When he does that, when he does the open palm, he's going to do a backhand. When he starts with an open palm, I should say. There's a attack right there. He does triple highs and then 1 low. This is a special move where he switches around and tries to swipe you with his staff. Sometimes he'll fake out. He'll do it 4 times, or once he attacks 4 times, he will stop doing it, and then you can counter him if you didn't get hit on the last hit. Damn, he just knocked me down with a kick right there. Totally illegal, but who's watching? There's no ref here. High, low. And then, yeah, he shifts left and right, so you gotta watch out for that and counter accordingly, because if you don't, you lose your stun. Pushes you every single time, or pretty much every single time you hit him on block. You might duck, too, like do a deep duck. There's countering it properly. You want to do gut punches to him. A lot weaker to that. Low, palm. Look at that. Low. And then a kick, but I countered it there. So yeah, there's lots of things you need to learn, and we're gonna see even more. Like this, when he shifts his staff high, he's gonna do 6 highs and then 4 lows, and then he's gonna do it low one time. We'll see that soon. So So yeah, you have to learn all these stances. Here we go. Low, low, high, high, low, low, high, high. And that's how you do it. And you gotta learn all these and just figure out the patterns. Honestly, you don't necessarily need to learn it that much. You could just get away with kind of dodging or even countering, depending on how well you can execute, which right now in this gameplay is not that well. You could get destroyed, you could do really well. But eventually I do put it together, and we can finally take him out soon. Got a little bit of work to do. So many fake outs there, but you would think it would stall the time, but it actually pauses. It pauses the timer until he actually, like, attacks. So as soon as he leaves the ring, it pauses the timer. So that's nice, because you don't want him timing you out, because he totally could. I mean, we're at the 2-minute mark. Still have to knock him down one more time. Don't want to dodge there. Block it. Yeah. It's very quick, so just gotta be careful. There's a low. Palm. 6 highs, 4 lows. And we got him. Super hot take incoming. First of all, before we get into it, you can see what it is right here. Title Defense Bear Hugger. This is the start of the intense tier, which is above hard. And I just think these fights are, well, as they say, intense. Anyway, Bear Hugger, Title Defense, the 5th hardest Title Defense fight, the 6th hardest Punch-Out Weak fight, and the hardest version of Bear Hugger. So the thing about this guy is, every single time you put him in stun, you only get 2 hits, with the exception of using a star. Every time you throw a star punch in stun, you saw it when he taunted, he left himself vulnerable, and you're going to see it again soon. Never mind, I'm getting hit. So, when you throw a star, you get extra hits, and the more stars you get, the more extra hits you get, except if you do it 3 stars in punch, where it's an automatic knockdown. So here's a 2-star punch, you get a little bit more punches than 1. So, Bear Hugger has a hat and a little squirrel in it, and the squirrel is used to kind of show some delayed cues or some fake outs, and you'll see some of that. Just like that, where he says, "I'm gonna stop you," but then he winds up really hard, the squirrel's up, bouncing on him right now to get him up. So that's the thing. I think what makes this fight really hard is especially if you're fishing for 3 stars, then you're just you have to counter 3, not necessarily 3 punches in a row, but you have to get 3 successful counters in a row, you know? So, because if you get hit once, then of course you lose your stars. So there's ways to limit of course, if you don't feel comfortable dodging certain or countering certain attacks, you don't have to. But also the timing for some other attacks from Contender are even harder, like the timing's tighter. There's the one-hit knockdown. And that's the thing really, because it's like, if you either do that or like you get completely destroyed, or you play it too safe and go to decision. There's some fake outs where he literally just gives you free stars. I don't know why he does it, it's just free stars, just like that. It makes it so much easier. So theoretically, you could probably cycle to those fake outs, just get the stars there. But I just think Jesus Wade does a lot of damage too, especially the bear hugs, of course. And I think even if you only throw like 1 or 2 star punches, he's still tanky. Lots of damage there. There's a delayed hook. He also has a delayed bear hug. Catch, release. And that's it. We just killed a squirrel. In Max Last Stand, the final mode after you complete title defense, you may get a chance to fight Donkey Kong, baby. DK himself, in the flesh, in the ring, at number 14, and the 5th hardest fight in the 28 fights in the Punch-Out Wii series. This is a bonus fight, so I don't include it in title defense, but secret fight. He's a mix of Hoi Corlo and Don Flamenco, because he has a stance, but you have to counter that stance, and then he throws an attack based on that stance. There's a pose, that's a slam, so you gotta dodge to the left or right. But you can see here, this rub, that's a backhand. That will be this left and right slamming attack thing. You gotta dodge to where he's not hitting. There's a roll for free star. The wink is either a charged hit, a charge slam, or a regular slam. Left, right. If you saw earlier, I actually got lucky with the timing and dodged the wrong way, but still got it. And he's got a couple more, which are a lot more deadly. The whole idea is you have to counter the combination and can't get hit. If you get hit, you only get 2 out of stun. This one, when he bangs his chest at the same time, just attack him, because the next attack is unblockable. You just want to punch it. You can't duck it either. And that's the thing about this is the thing about Donkey Kong. Oh man, that's an epic shot. But yeah, Donkey Kong has just so much control over the time, and you just can't let that happen at all, or else you're gonna go to the decision with this guy. There's a roll. Counter it properly, get the stars. You can also get lots of stars if you time it correctly. Like on his wink, when he immediately winks, you get a star. There's also stars to get the shoulder or the rub and the other one. But I'm not entirely too sure of them. So he bangs his chest, not alternatively, so gotta get him here. This is the most dangerous combination in the game. For whatever reason, he didn't do it. This is another deadly one. Does 2 attacks and then attack, you gotta duck. But the damage output, as you can see, is a lot. The more deadly the combination, the more rewarding it is for you to dodge them all. Here we go. Left, right, charge, right, and then that attack. Which is, it's the same as the shoulder punch, or the one where he punched both of his chests at the same time, where you just gotta punch it and you don't block, or you don't duck it, or else you get screwed over. Donkey Kong, we had our fun, but we gotta end this here. Star punch up here, instant knockout, or knockdown. Now here we are with Super Macho Man on Super Punch-Out, champion of the world circuit, number 3 of 16 Super Punch-Out fights, and number 4 of the 5 Super Macho Man fights. At number 13, man, that really tells you something about Macho Man, dude. So he's got these hooks, he's got these uppercuts, they're kind of fast, but here's the thing about him, he's got these programs. That little shake right there, that little shoulder shake, means he's gonna do the spin punch, the weaker one, the singular weak one, which does half your health, which is still really strong. And he has programs. So program A is a four jab combination. Program B is a triple low block combination, and program C is switches left and right a lot, and then he does a Dreamland Express. 3 uppercuts. We won't see all of them here. I actually don't think we see C, but just be aware of it. And they could throw you off a lot because you're not ready for it. Surprisingly enough, he hasn't done his charge or super duper spin punch, which was it right there. And he's got to keep dodging over and over again until it finally stops. And you don't know when he's gonna stop, really. It's like it could be from 3 to 10, even maybe even 11. I'm not sure. He doesn't move like a mass muscle. His palette swap when he does the hooks, but still, just those spin punches, man. They're so fast, so deadly, and his combinations, lots of damage. This guy is very, very tricky. But we've taken care of him fairly quickly, honestly. I'm surprised. We're actually going to go to another Super Macho Man fight. This time it's going to be a title defense fight, the 4th hardest title defense fight, the 4th hardest fight in the game series, and the 3rd hardest Super Macho Man fight. Lots of it's similar. Macho Man, you can do the same stuff. He's got taunts, but his left uppercut, as you can see, is much faster. Same stars, but he's a lot tankier because it's title defense. Like that contender, Macho Man probably would have died from that, but this guy takes a little bit more. Watch out for the super punch, always. I will say, this is a hard fight. There's another taunt you can get a star off if you time it correctly. Releasing the bogus, always. So here's his left spin punch, and here's his right spin punch, which is delayed. Gotta dodge the correct direction. Here's the problem with Superman, with Super Macho Man. It's very segmented. He reserves the release the bogus and wipeout for these moments, and it makes it very easy to predict. Like, you can see how quickly we cycle through his pattern. He's back on work it. He has another taunt for his third knockdown. It's called Feel the Burn. If you gut punch immediately, you get a star. Like, immediately. There's the hook. Pretty much the same. Don't want to do that. But here's the thing about Macho Man. He has the hardest attack to dodge in the game. The triple Macho Spin Punch. Even faster than before. So you have to really anticipate and cycle your duck. You gotta cycle your duck properly. And that's a lot. And in this one, if you get hit, if it hits you, you get instantly knocked down. So we went through it pretty quickly, but I still think it's a hard fight. Oh my god, dude, I really hate Great Tiger in the arcade, man. This is number 11, Great Tiger, number 2 of the 5 in the Super Arcade, and number 3 of 11 in the Total Arcade series, on the hardest Great Tiger fight. This is a palette swap of Piston Hurricane. He works apparently very similar to the rematch version of Piston Hurricane, which we didn't get into, because that's a rematch, and we're not really going to touch the rematches. Because, well, I haven't even beaten them. But anyway, there's a Hurricane Rush. You can actually counter it. I feel like it's easier to counter and knock him down there. So that's at least a plus. But his hooks are brutal, man. Sometimes he does them in a row. And if you get hit by one, you're probably going to get hit by the next due to, like, the stun thing. When he gets knocked down, he throws, like, 4 uppercuts. You got to watch out for that. Gotta watch out for the rush in general. He does a lot more. He does a bunch of uppercuts after the rush too, which I've never been able to deal with. So instead, I prefer just to counter him. I try to show it off there, but I kind of shit ass. And this one, you just really gotta wait for him to attack, and that could be annoying. He'll stand there for a little bit, eventually throw some combination, but then I see there I just wasn't ready for that hook, and you respawn with so little health. Every time you get knocked down, it's so mean. One hook will literally kill me. You see that? I'm out. I'm already out. And that's the thing about Great Tiger, man. It's just not, he's just not fair in this one. He's a dickhead. Tight defense, all that stuff from Super Arcade that really pisses me off. But here's a good run of Great Tiger. And see, I'm getting a lot of hits in. That's an instant knockdown. Gotta watch out for these uppercuts. And also, I can't really counter them because, as you can see, I'm in gut punch mode, and you can't counter it with a gut punch. One thing I like about the Super compared to the original is that you can punch a lot faster. It's nice. Almost there. 2 hooks will do it. Knock him down another time. Just one more time. Watch out for these little uppercut rush. He actually has 2 different timings for it. You can do, sometimes he does like, or something like that, or like, or something like that, or he just does like a consistent pace. I gotta be honest, as I said earlier, I think this fight's a little overrated. I just keep hearing how he's even harder than Macho Man, which is not true at all. Number 10, Mr. Sandman on the NES. Number 3 of the Total Fights, and number 3 of Total Mr. Sandman fights. I gotta say, the last few fights at this point are just not on the same. They're all a tier above every other fight, but these top 3 fights are not in the same 3 tiers. You know, Sandman here has some insanely fast rolling punches. And here's the thing, after he stops throwing those rolling punches, that's the hardest thing I think about him, is his rolling fists. They're incredibly fast. You see, hit him on block, then he jabs you back, and then he throws his hooks, but he throws them too little. So what you want to do is, you see there, I'm just throwing a punch for him to dodge, so that you force him into those counter punches. That was just Dreamland Express. It looks a little hard to dodge, but not really. He stands in place and gives you a big Q. And the funny thing is, the speed of the Dreamland Express actually varies based on if you're quick dodging or not. He will always uppercut when you return to your neutral stance. So If you're speed running, you can quick dodge 3 times and just do it, get it done faster, but it's no big deal. It doesn't make the timing harder, or it shouldn't really make the timing harder or anything. As you see here, he's just taking little health off, man. And I think I'm not timing the punches correctly. If you delay it enough, you can actually get more damage outputs that every hit you do on Sandman will lower his health, but I'm just not able to do that here because I've never got the timing in. We're going to round 2 with Sandman, that's okay. Same old counters. Just like in the contender fight, he retaliates, or he lifts his hands up as soon as he gets hit in the face, and then you just hit him in the gut from there. It's down once, fairly early. Good for us. Here comes his express. You can tell because nothing is happening for a good amount of time. But here's the thing, when you dodge that, you get so much damage. Nearly knock him down after that. Now I just bait the counters. He's doing it again because he's blocking. Gotta be careful. And down he goes. Again, he does it instantly though. It's crazy. So it threw me off there. That's okay. I'll just take the knockdown here, but we'll finish it up very quickly. Very likely he does Dreamland Express again. Yep. But he got me there, and he doesn't you gotta dodge all 3 apparently. Just watch for the flash. There it is. There we go. And see, he actually uppercutted a little faster because I quick dodged there. And that's Sandman. I don't think this fight is too hard, but I mean, it's still a very hard fight. You know, just a little overrated in my opinion. Alright, now we start off with the Merciless tier, essentially the final tier. We start off with Bald Bull, finally fully realized Bald Bull, the menace of society, finally getting a screen time that he deserves, the hard screen time. Of the 6 fights is of course the hardest, 3rd hardest title defense fight, 3rd hardest Wii fight. He's got the same mechanic as before. Can't knock him down without a star, except this time it's a lot harder to do. And a lot more frustrating. You do the extra jabs to get some extra hits off. But sometimes you can get a star too, but for me it's not consistent. And you see there, I'm actually saving on to the star, and we're gonna figure that out really quickly as to why. There's a star. When you knock him down, or when you get quote-unquote knocked down once, he will laugh so that you can actually knock him down. Here comes the bull charge. Counter that. He still gets up though. You get a star, but he still gets up. But if I 3-star him here, I knock him out. Yes. So a KO trick for sure. But that does not make this fight easy at all. Alright, now let's give Bald Bull the justice he deserves by giving him a full fight, because by no means is this fight any cakewalk, not for sure. That's why it's so high up here. It's just, sometimes you're going to be in limbo in here just because of the star mechanic. Of course, those fast jabs can throw you off, and the slow jabs, just a variation of different timings, can really screw you up, take your stars, which you really don't want to happen. So you gotta hold on to these things, man. And sometimes they just won't give you those extra stars. Just depends on how it's feeling, apparently. You see there, it just doesn't do anything. And look at that. Just all damage, no stars, man. We got one, but we got hit by it, so can't do that. But we're back in this phase, which we can get a free star in, and just immediately smack him out. Bull charge immediately, very interesting move. At 130 timestamp, instant health drop. The funny thing is though, is you time it correctly, you can actually knock him down after the bull charge with that star punch. Because if you look, there's actually a different motion he does when he from when you normally punch him to when you counter the bull charge. He I don't know, lifts his hand a little bit to rub his nose or something, and when he does that, you can star punch him to knock him down, or triple star punch him to knock him out. So here we're gonna see a delayed hook in the other direction, so gotta watch out for that. I've gotten tricked by it a couple times, but I've actually been able to get away with it. By the way, Bull is tanky because we're in the final fights in the game. He surprisingly did not die of that 2-star punch. And this puts me in a weird spot to, for this fight to go in a much south direction. And that's not gonna help. You see, man? Gotta get yourself together. You're gonna see here, doesn't do the nose rub. So it's not a knockdown. And he whips the shit out of me for a little bit and then laughs at me as the round ends. And now we gotta go to round 2 with this menace, this unit of a man. Not giving us stars. See, I got tricked there, but I was able to duck in time. There's our freebie. And I gave it away, so now we gotta go through the same thing over and over again. The funny thing is, I actually learned this pattern right here as I was recording this. So he starts with the left hook, and then delayed left hook, and I think an uppercut. No, the laugh, and then the uppercut. Or fuck, or something. Yes, slow jab, and then the uppercut. That's what it is, and that's usually what he does after he gets up. Left hook, right hook. That's left hook. God, such a mean uppercut. So much damage too. That thing's always mean, man. It's so fast. You just gotta watch out for that. Tries to get me with a quick jab. I'm not sure if we'll see it here, but he also has a really, really long jab for some reason. I don't know why, but just to throw you off a bit, but it doesn't really throw me off. No stars. Gotta settle for this again. Let's see. Right hook or left hook. Uppercut, laugh, fast jab, slow jab, whips me up, man. This is down to the wire. If I get knocked one more time, don't want that to happen. Balboa's just gonna drain down the clock by doing the bull charge. And now we're in a very, very tough spot. Here we go. We're in the final round, down to the wire here. Gotta make something happen. Careful. Fortunately, we're gonna have to settle with this for now. You can see we're just in limbo with this guy. There's the left hook. There's the uppercut. Laugh. Fast. Slow. And I didn't realize it at that point, so we're gonna have to settle for this again. Over and over again, and that's what makes this fight hard, is just not wanting to be in this position. There we go. Just smack him out. Instant uppercut. By the way, I forgot to mention this, he recovers full health every single time he gets up in this one. Every single time. What a dickhead. And only 9 hearts. Barely got out of that one. There's our star. That's good. Just gotta be careful. Don't want to over-anticipate. You see, I'm a little scared. I'm not sure what's enough, but we're kind of smacking him. We're on his final knockdown. But so, truth be told, we've already gotten knocked down twice. So are we. So, there's a point like this where we know what's gonna happen. Here we go. The last bull charge to decide it all. Can I do it? I counter him. That's good. But now we just need the punch. Almost had to go to the decision. But we just pulled through at the very end to give him that final whack we needed to knock him down. Now we are going to the second to last fight and the second hardest fight of Super Punch-Out. Rick Bruiser. Rick Bruiser's brutal, man. He's got some very fast jabs. And the thing about this guy is, lots of his attacks send him... There's a combination. Look out for that. Low, high, uppercut. Lots of his attacks send him in different directions, and where only one type of punch is the right. That one you want. That one you got to attack the right. That one you got to attack the right. Look out for that. That's an elbow. You got a hook or you got a body blow for that one. His jabs are quick. He shifts all the way to the right for that one. To your right. Watch out for that. That elbow freezes the screen, and you gotta hold your block for that one. Whenever you throw a super, or wherever you try to counter him, he will retaliate with a punch. So hold your block up. You'll know because he kind of looks away. That way he goes to this direction. Hold your block. Low, high, uppercut. Centers in the middle. You see there, I did not dodge there. Instant knockdown. Instant knockdown. Always. Quick jabs. There's a smack. There's the elbow. Look out. You gotta look out. That's a combination. You either gotta cycle it, or you gotta hold your dodge for long enough correctly, or you gotta do 2 quick dodges. Well, if you knocked him down a second time, and we're getting close to finishing Rick off. Recovers with a lot of health, though. He's a pretty tanky guy, but not as much as his brother, which we're gonna see. Spoiler alert. By the way, try to counter or try to super him there. He actually just straight up hit me with the uppercut, with the upper and then the elbow, I should say. By the way, this doesn't happen in this clip, but both of the Bruiser brothers, they will if you hit them and block them in a certain way, they will elbow your fists, and it will disable that fist for a couple seconds. So you gotta watch out for that. But we're almost done with Rick here, thank God, because not an easy guy. Oh, don't wanna do that. You see he's centering himself clearly, so you can tell he's doing it. And we've taken down the first Bruiser bro. At number 7, you guys are not ready for this. We have the Soda Popinski, number 2, second hardest fight in title defense, and second hardest in the Wii series. The hardest Soda Popinski fight in the series. This is those attacks I was talking about, fully realizing, covering 2 options, but all the attacks is a total covering every single option. You have to be quick with this guy. Right now it's used pretty basic, but you notice I'm getting more attacks out of his stun the more I dodge, and that's the whole thing. For this fight, you need to stay hot. If you're not hot, then if you get hit once, then your cycle starts. So you have to start at 2 punch combos again, and then you gotta dodge, you gotta be at 3, and so on and so forth. For the stuns, if it's not higher than than your current combo or whatever, then it'll just do a certain amount like that. But now I'm gonna get myself like this, and see, it goes back to 2, and now he's starting to use his full kit. Not really segmented, so you gotta look out, because he does all them, the hooks, the sidestep hooks, the uppercuts, and it's a little bit faster too, so you gotta look out for that. He's still got the same weaknesses as the original Soda Popinski. Every time he pulls out his thing, there's a left hook just to be a dick. Every time he pulls out his bottle, you can punch him, get a star, and I'll put him into rage. This always puts him into rage as well. And then, of course, starring him hits him into rage. So you can do that in mind. You have to make this fight really easy for you. But that does not make this an easy fight. Okay, we're not going to see level 3 Soda Popinski yet. He's got like 3 levels. And you can tell which level he's at because, you know, he's raged. At this point, you're never going to see level 1 Soda Popinski yet. Anymore. He's going to start up with level 2 here. But you'll know he's at 3 because he's going to be extra raged. He'll be even more screaming when he gets up. Such a mean uppercut. Side steps. Left one. That's his right fist, though. Them goddamn arrows, dude. See, he's just tapping me in so many ways, and look at that. I'm trying. I'm telling you, I'm trying real badly in this one, probably. But you see, I just keep getting hit, and every time I dodge something, you know, I get hit by the next one. It's just like I'm not getting too many hits in, and we're just getting nowhere, you know? So it's like, you can see how hot you have to be to win this fight. And we'll see what that looks like after I get destroyed by this guy, because we're gonna go to level 3 Saul Papinski, and after his rage, I'm gonna let his hook hit me, and we're just gonna watch and weep. First of all, watch how hard watch how fast that is. Every attack is incredibly fast now. Almost missed that. That's even, his taunt is faster. Make it easier just by doing the star. But yeah, no, he's insane, man. This is not what you want to see. The only problem, of course, with the difficulty is the ways you could cycle through, and just the fact that you don't see enough of level 3 Soda Popinski. You know, in a good run, you really only need to dodge one hook from that level. It's a good thing you don't have to, because this might actually be like a top 3 fight if you had to. But just too many glaring weaknesses. Nonetheless, an absolutely brutal, merciless, as the tier name suggests, fight. You see here, he's back to level 2 Soda Pop. As soon as I knock him down, though, or, well, as soon as I get up and knock him down, and then he just laughs. He's full of himself. 2 hits again. 3 hits. Anticipate, you can't anticipate. As much as you want to punch out, you can't really anticipate, but Soda Pop, it's really hard not to. And honestly, actually, you really just have to learn his patterns to get better, especially in this final one, because it's insanely hard to react to all of his punches. Don't want to get knocked down another time. Holy shit, that was... Oh man, don't want to do that. Don't want to give him more health, and ooh, just kind of slamming me with the sidestep punches. He's kind of rocking the shit. He's rocking my shit, man. And it's just not enough for me, or it's too much for me. Way too much. Title defense Soda Pop, man. Another level if you don't know what to do. But let's say you do know what to do. Let's see what that looks like, because it looks a lot easier. Alright, so here we go. This pattern's fairly similar to his beginning one. 2 hooks, 2 uppercuts. He just adds an extra sidestep afterwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Save the star because we're in such an easy phase. I think I do, actually. Yeah. Yeah. Two, 3, 4. There's a cycle. Put him back into range, make it so that I don't have to dodge any more of its hard attacks or learn his pattern. Look how much damage I'm doing to him with stun at this point. And at this point you can tell level 3 Soda Popinski just does not have a chance against me. Too much stun. I just have to dodge his rage uppercuts and a hook, and I'm out of here. Good. Take the money and run. That's the type of mindset you want to have if you win this fight. If you are in this position, you got to be thinking, Lord Jesus, man. Take that, and he's out. We're on to the final fight of Super Punch-Out, the champion of the world, the champion of the special circuit, the brother of Rick Bruiser. His name is Nick Bruiser, and he's the hardest Super Punch-Out fight in the game, of course. He's like Hoyt in that you have to go left and right. In this little phase right here, wherever he attacks, where he goes low, you have to counter low, and wherever he goes high, you have to punish high. He does this for about the first 30 seconds, and then he switches to his other phase. He's like Dawn in that he switches to Dawn 2 is like he switches to phases. That is an instant knockdown if you that dive punch is the knockdown, and then you gotta dodge those other two things by ducking. You see there, he actually disabled my left arm, and this is really bad on Nick. Not as much as Rick because he doesn't shift left and right, but it means I can't continue my combos here. There's an uppercut. If he hits you with an uppercut, he actually hits you with the elbow during the motion of the uppercut, which takes out half your health. Don't want to get hit by that. And just look at the way he moves, man. He's just silent. It's like a challenge. This is the hardest Hondo rush in the game. It's so annoying. It's like you can't block. It's like 12 punches and an uppercut, I think. But it's like you're better off just countering it. So like when he goes low, then you counter high afterwards. Because if you that's your best bet, is doing that over and over again until he finally gets stunned from counter. Because if you don't, if you just keep blocking, he will slimmer down your health. The next time he does it, watch my health bar slim down. Another thing I don't like about this guy is sometimes he just does not get hit by super punches and stun. And I just don't know why. You can see the little delay in the uppercut. I'm out, damn. But you can see the delay in the uppercut shows that it's like the elbow is also hitting. That's what it signifies. Because of course it's reused sprites from Rick as well, so it's like they got the same motions and stuff. But we gotta try that again, of course. We gotta get a much cleaner fight of Nick going. Okay. Goes low, I go low. I have to go low. Goes high, I have to go high. It's really bad because I think if you go low and you counter, if he goes low and you counter up, then he's probably gonna break your fist. Don't want to be too careful because or you want to be careful because during that phase, because in the transition between this phase and the next one, if you throw a super punch near the end and it misses, he's likely gonna do the dive punch and knock you the fuck out. So really, you gotta be careful that's how he signifies that he's switching phases, at least first time around, like for the high-low punches. In this moment, I'm not too sure. What the hell am I doing, man? Can't get hit by that. Lose all my health for no reason. You know, he's still in this phase. The jab's a little bit slower, but... And here we go. You see my health is just still going down, but I'm trying to get it, and oh my god, and I finally get it. I finally get the counter hit, and it puts him in stun. And that's really your best bet against it. Block stats for whatever reason. There's his little Dreamland Express. It's a double uppercut. It's better to super punch people in this game as your final hit because they'll get up with less health. But you know, he got up with all health there. Damn. But it's hard with this guy because you know he dodges it sometimes for reasons I can't really comprehend. I think it's... I don't know, man. Sometimes I think it's just the 2-hit combos that he dodges, but you saw that. That was a 3-hit combo that he dodged. So I'm just not too sure. Damn! That killed me, man. Yeah, no. Brutal fight. Brutal fight. He's tanky. He hits like bullets. But we're almost there. One more knockdown should do it, I believe. Dreamland Express. And we have taken down the champ, have we? Yes, we have. We are now the champion of Super Punch-Out. Say goodbye to Super. It's the last time we see it on this list. Oh boy, it's time. The final fight for Wii. We have Mr. Sandman. The hardest fight in the game. Title defense in the series. And the second hardest Sandman fight, forced to be reckoned with. The thing about Sandman is you can't match the energy of Mike Tyson. So there's ways, you know, Mike Tyson threatening because he's just Mike Tyson, you know. He's not a big guy, so it's not technically threatening in that way, but he's threatening because he's fucking Mike Tyson and one of the greatest boxers of all time. So you can't really do that with Mr. Sandman, but they want him to take the mantle of Tyson. So you saw there he has the wink uppercuts, they're wink punches in Tyson, but he has wink uppercuts, and you gotta dodge in the right direction, and they're really, really fast, and you gotta, if you counter the right wink, you get a star. If you don't, you either get hit, or you get a really tight timing, and you won't get it, then it'll just smack you, and there's a lot of damage. It's like 1/3 of your health. But yeah, the way they make Sandman threatening is by making him big, and make him stomp, slow, strong, and the threatening aura, and that's really how they do it. Very, very tanky too. That started nothing, man. Of course, when you're not as iconic as Tyson, you got to do it in different ways. And as I said, the ways he does it is by being big, strong, stomp, stomp, stomp in the intro. Damn! Tried to get him with the uppercut there. His Dreamland Express is faster, gets less stun. He also has counter punches. I think we'll see them later, but that's usually only during his Dreamland Express. Gotta be careful there. He might block and then throw it. There it is. There it is. And then he throws the. Then he throws the Dreamland after the counter punch. He actually has two, and they're that one's the delayed one to the right, and then he has another to the left where he goes. And look at that, 2 knockdowns already. I'm getting my ass whooped. This man is literally getting his title back in a minute or two. And the problem with this guy is the more times you get knocked down, the more times he gets knocked down, the more wink punches he does. So in the first fight, first down, he did 2. Next time we knocked him down, or the first time we knocked him down, he did 3, and now he's gonna do like 5 or 6 or something. I don't know. I don't even bother because I don't even get him. That's why. But we're still in it technically, because of the comeback mechanic of this game. There we go. But that doesn't change much because we still have to deal with wink punches. Funny thing is, aside from these wink punches and the Dreamland Express and the counter punches, not too much of a different fight. The rest of his attacks are similar, just less stun. Not a good run of Sandman there. Here we go though. You can get some real value off countering these wing punches. If you don't feel good enough, you might just be better off just dodging them. You get extra damage for doing that too, but so tanky, man. That should kill most other opponents. Crazy lucky there. I was trying to get the boo. I think he only does it when you dodge. Like you dodge at any point, then he does it. That's what I'm thinking. Careful, does it instantly there. There's 3 right there. I'm trying to get it there. I'm just trying to show it off. Careful. Man, the overhead. I mean, you don't need to change too much because Sandman's attacks are already, they're strong, they're fast. So that overhead is so mean, and those delayed attacks, the hook and the overhead, so just brutal. So you don't really need to change much, but giving them those weak punches, it's just unfair, man. Now here's the truth. We're actually done with the fight because in this final phase, he gets really angry, wink punch, I counter that, and I knock him the fuck out. That's not how Next Level Games wants you to do it, probably, but if you're an expert and speedrunner, that's the way to go. But here we go. We're gonna fast forward to another fight of Sandman. We're gonna show off really what they want you to do as soon as we knock him out really quick. Just like that. You can really feel yourself when you get those wink punches in, but if not, you're in a world of hurt for sure. So here we go. So this is what they want you to do. It's very, very cinematic, honestly. See, he's getting tired. He just keeps throwing over and over again. Don't bother counting. Just dodge. Dodge the wrong direction there. He's getting frustrated. Left. Left. Right, left, and he gets way too tired. Oh man, gets way too a hold of himself. You get a million stars off him. Just punch him wherever you want. Finish him the fuck out. Put him on the mat. And he's out.
Knockout.
And now we have the champion of the world in the NES, Super Macho Man. A tier above Sandman. Not as hard as Tyson, of course. The second hardest fight in the game. And the second hardest version of Super Macho Man. Super Macho Man is a threat. And you're going to see why in a second. There's a hook, there's uppercuts, and it's incredibly fast now, and look how little damage he takes. Like, compare that to Soda Pop, his palette swap. It's not that much. You get the first hit, but some of those hits are doing nothing for some reason, you know? There's a star. I got my mistake. Delayed hit, I guess. That star did not do much either. He's super tanky, and that's the thing. He's super fast, and it's Macho Spin time. So there, he does a little spaz, and then he does the single spin for half your health if you miss it. Just dodge to the left, and yeah, that's not an easy task. It just comes out of nowhere. It's very quick. You got to react to it. To be fair, he does stand there for a while, but here's what you really got to look out for. Ooh. He does the Macho Spin over and over again. You gotta keep dodging. Does it really fast, and it's gotta be a cycle. Don't bother quick dodging. You'll screw yourself up. Unlike Mr. Sandman, just cycle when the sound cue plays. It's really hard, and that's the thing. His moveset isn't that. There's no real variation in timing. The hook is a little delayed, but that's not by much. It's still fast. Probably won't get screwed over by it. But just the problem with this guy is just his damage output, his tankiness, the Macho Spins. That's what makes him one of the hardest fights. Top 4, nearly top 3. This attack alone just makes it harder than so many other fights we've been talking about earlier. It's just nothing like it. It's just incomparable in so many ways. Even to the Super Punch-Out one. The tankiness, fast uppercuts, it's just lethal, man. And the fact that the NES just has a much harder engine than the Wii version. It puts up levels above Title Defense Macho Man and everyone else. On to round 2 we go. Hook got me. Little low. Fortunately, there's no way to recover health here aside from the pressing select in the menu. Oh, here comes. Here comes. Not able to react to it, man. How did that not knock him down? That's crazy. Well, we got a minute, about 2 minutes left. Let's see what magic we can work here in the final couple seconds, seconds in real life, because it's Punch Out. Wonderful. You want to keep dodging there, no matter if he stops until you know for sure he stops. It's better to keep dodging than to stop at when you think he's going to stop, because let's be real, it's impossible to predict that. He has a lot of end lag after that spin punch, so you'll just be fine just dodging repeatedly until you know for sure that he's done. Knocked him down another time. We got a minute to win it, baby. A Punch-Out minute to win it anyway. Doesn't get much health. Macho Spin. That was about 7 or 8 of those. Take a little bit of damage, but ooh, might be close because of how tanky he is, but I think one more should do it, and it does. We are now officially champions in the original NES Punch-Out. Feels great. Not an easy fight at all. And now we have the champion of the original arcade, the first ever champion, the hardest Sandman fight, the second hardest arcade series fight, the hardest in the original arcade, Mr. Sandman. I'll be honest, I actually beat this on my first try, and it was without any help, and it's because a left jab, I think, leads to him to counter. But here's the thing. I just got very lucky. For this fight, you need to get lucky, it seems. You can cycle as much as you can like that, but eventually he's going to start blocking things and not countering with an uppercut. And sometimes, because of delay or something, you're just not able to dodge the uppercut sometimes. And then He starts to throw uppercut combinations just like that. That was a quick one. I can't dodge that one. Hits me with a low blow. Just look at that. Like, how do I deal with that? And then he's got this side right uppercut, or left on his side, which we saw a little bit earlier. Able to dodge there, but like, come on. It's very inconsistent. And I feel like, in a ways, I could be overrating this fight, but I just think it's his inconsistencies make this a really hard fight, in my opinion. And just the fact that it's on the arcade, probably the hardest engine because of how scuffed it is. It looks like I'm doing well, but I get low respawn health too, especially on my next one. He has low health too, but I can't. I'm trying to You see, I'm trying to dodge, but it's just not letting me. It's just the timing. He just knocked me out. You see that? And that's the thing. I just don't know how I did it. Sometimes the game just doesn't give you the dodges, and I'm not entirely sure why. When we're recording all these fights, honestly, I was not able to win against Sandman. Here's a snippet from my stream where I was able to beat Sandman. You're gonna hear my reactions, and they do not age well. I just say the wrong things. You see how lucky I'm getting? Just doing that left jab. Just trying to find the vulnerabilities in him. Able to knock him down. And able to just get away with all these punches, man. But just sometimes they just don't let you do it. This fight's easy as shit. Poorly aged sentences, in my opinion. Punch Out Arcade. Yeah.
I'm gonna go watch some anime.
You see, now I'm trying, and he's hitting me. It's just, I'm trying to dodge it. It's just not working. I'm almost eating my words here at the very moment. But I'm able to get away very, very soon just by one. Fuck. Almost one more dodge. Yep. One dodge, and he's down and out. And Little Mac, or whatever, Green Man, whatever you call him, 3-digit character, is now the champion of the world. Now we have the other champion in the other arcade game, and the hardest in both arcades in that series and in this one in general, and the hardest version of Super Macho Man. This is an insanely hard fight. A lot more consistent than Sandman, but he's got a couple tricks on his sleeve. That uppercut's mean. Sometimes you get stun off it, sometimes you don't, and same goes for the hook. Sometimes you hit his hook, and he goes immediately to an uppercut. Like, see, sometimes you hit him 3 there, and that time he only hit 1, and then he goes uppercut immediately. By the way, Macho Spin, he only spins twice in this one, and he has both, but he spins twice for his super one, and it is an instant knockdown, and you can see he's rocking my shit here really badly. Sometimes he does use the jabs like vodka, because it's his power swap to signify what he's doing. See, that's either uppercut or the spin punch. You also saw he was doing his regular spin punch, which he will do in this one over and over again until you dodge it. So essentially he'll do it twice if you get hit by it. Gotta dodge that. You can see it's just like a stare down, man. You just gotta wait for him to do something, and you just gotta hope you don't screw up. And it's just, the engine is so brutal in this one. And if, depending on how you're doing, Mac will not even get up after 2 hits or 2 knockdowns if you're doing that badly. Look at that. Look at that, man. It's just in a wild, wild fight. Just brutal in all ways. And once again, just like Sandman, I actually could not recreate the magic, or I didn't feel like it. I probably could. I don't know. But so here's footage from me on stream doing it. Looks like he does uppercuts over and over again too. There's his regular. Yeah, so one jab signifies probably a hook. 2 either signifies an uppercut or the super spin punch. There we go. Knockdown. You gotta play by his rules, because if you don't, he'll really punish you for it. Counters, you know, and you gotta pay attention to how much stun you can get, because if you don't, you will punish. I almost got rocked there, but I barely got away with it. Able to duck it at the last moment, and able to knock him down again. Very close to taking the belt from him. Not much health back. Just gotta not shit ass. Do my job. Very close. Very close. Dodge a spin punch, and you are now champion of the world. But of course, I don't think anybody should expect a different fighter to be on the very tippy top of the Punch-Out Fighters rankings. It's gotta be, of course, Mike Tyson, Mr. Dream. Really, Tyson's on a tier of his own, man. Just straight up. The hardest NES fight, the hardest fight in the game, #1. You should expect nothing else. This minute alone of just dynamite uppercuts, you don't see me get hit in a little bit, but they're incredibly fast, and I cannot be anticipating them. You have to watch it happen and react and quick dodge every time immediately. What happens if I don't? That happens. Instant knockdown for every dynamite uppercut thrown in the first 30 seconds. Now here comes the wing punches, which are very quick and just not a lot of stun. You can do a little bit of delay to get extra hits on some of these, but I don't really know how because I never got it to work. But this fight is brutal. No, it's just indescribable as how much of a tier on its own it's at. And it's the NES, so you know his pattern, it's not much to write about. You know, it's just the same attacks over and over again. As you can see here, it's very segmented. For the first 130 he did the dynamites, and then now he's just doing the wing punches. But it's just the damage, his tankiness, especially his damage and it all puts it together just to make this atrocious fight. That really, if I were Tyson, I'd definitely be proud. And I know he is. By the way, here's a new part of round 2, where he just gives you some random jabs for the first 30 seconds until you're stunned. And he throws uppercuts again, but they're not, they won't be instant knockdowns anymore, so that's nice. Here's a couple other runs of just me screwing up. Here is me getting knocked down twice in the first 16 seconds and then just giving up after that. Like, look at this. Immediately knocked down again. That's how the brutal this fight is. You cannot anticipate him. You need to quick dodge, or else look, that's what happens. You gotta quick dodge. Gotta learn how to quick dodge. And the timing's a little tight to quick dodge. You not sure exactly. Wow, first round too. I think you just gotta tap the dodge button, and then you gotta tap the opposite or up on the D-pad to do it. I imagine it's even harder on original hardware, but I don't know. It could be more precise though, because of the CRT TVs, but I'm not too sure. I'm not playing this on original hardware. I've never had the Punch Out on the NES itself. NES Classic, yes. On the 3DS, I have. But never on the original hardware. You see, every single time I don't quick dodge unless I time it correctly and anticipate it early. I just can't get a counter in, and that really punches me. And that's just, it's not me trying to, it's me really trying to do quick punch input. Right now, though, I'm actually saving his health for the next round, so that it's easier to TKO him. As you can see, I get an immediate hit. I don't get a star yet, so that's the whole point of this kind of thing, is you can block him, and after you do that, you can gut punch him immediately to get a star. Just like this. He'll do this for the first 30 seconds. There's a star there. Now I gotta be careful. Gotta hold on to these stars. Not able to do it there. There we go. Don't want to throw star punches on uppercuts. I'm not sure why. I just looked at the guide. There's a star there from a little bit delayed. Another star hit. And man, we're rocking his shit, man. That's not gonna help though. Gotta calm down. Oh, he's blinking. So that is his own Hondo rush. And it's not that bad. Just a couple of jabs finished by an uppercut. The fight definitely waters down after the first 1 minute and 30, but I really do think that though that 1 minute and 30 of the first round alone solidifies him as the hardest fight. And that's not to say anything that comes after it is easy. It's just not on the same level, for sure. But it's definitely incredibly hard still, and just uncomparable to the rest of the roster. Thus, why he is the greatest and hardest punch-out fight of all time.